Well, whoops. Ah, darn it. Still not. Sorry, it took me a couple minutes longer than usual to set up. But my camera is still not working. Okay, give me another second here. I've been having a little bit more issues with YouTube Studio lately. I don't know why. I never seems to start with my camera on anymore. It also took me like a couple minutes to like set it up and switch models. Not sure why. Darn, camera is still being really weird lately. Maybe I need to check it if it needs like a software update or something. Because it's been taking a lot longer to start up. Or maybe it's maybe I should also back up and double check my VTube Studio settings. We'll see. All right, if it doesn't start up in a minute, I'm just gonna switch over to what is it? My PNG model. Because this is silly. Oh, come on. You're killing me here. All right, I don't think we're gonna have. I don't know what's going on with it. Yeah, I should double check my software for these things. Make sure that something doesn't need an update. In that case, we will switch over to PNG when I also open it up. Ugh, oh my god. Computer's a little chuggy today. Anyways, this is fine. I mean, it's not really fine. It's actually kind of a... Oh, are you freaking kidding me, camera? Literally, the second I close VTube Studio, the light turns on like it suddenly woke up from a deep slumber. What a pain in the ass. I just had to double check something. I was like, sometimes like OBS will warn me. It'll be like, just so you know, Twitch, you might need to change your title because Twitch isn't gonna allow it. So it looks like Twitch, according to Twitch, the title of the stream is Evil Phoenix Wright, which is not the title I put in. The title I put in is Evil Lesbian Phoenix Wright. But apparently lesbians are illegal on Twitch, on twitch.tv. All right, hold on. Let me... I know I said I was going to give up, but now I'm mad and I want to try one more time. Where's my camera? Camera on. Oh, it's so weird. All right. It can read my camera through a different camera application, just not through VTube Studio. Okay, it's a VTube Studio problem. That's what it is. All right. Well, at least we know who is causing the problem. So we will be a PNG today. Hello. Oh man, it's been like 10 minutes and we've done nothing. Anyways, We did the free episode a while ago, like over a month ago, I think. This is now episode 1. It is a paid episode, but I was like, you know what? Let's come back to this. I don't know when episode 2 is gonna come out. I guess we continue. Well, well, I guess just this one, the last one. Maybe we need to do like to do the next episode. It's also been a while, so I don't remember video game exactly. Like, I think the first warm-up part is pretty easy, but like then when you actually get to challenging your opponent's charges, that's when you have to start gambling. Oh man, what? Maybe I should have just done. Oh, oh, oh. For a second there, it said something like I have credits to spend. But we won't worry about that now. I assume it'll be to unlock things like this. Alright, I might turn it down just a smidge. Just a tiny smidge. But it's really good, so I definitely like the music to be loud for this. Yeah, I was gonna do art stream or something, but I was too lazy. I was like, I think I need to do a little more warming up on art off stream first because I don't know, I just can't seem to be very consistent. I want to draw a couple times a week, at least for myself, not necessarily for stream. But I don't know, I feel like I only end up really drawing once every 2 weeks. All right, okay, that's what I thought. It is getting a little bit loud, so we can turn it down a little bit more. You can play high roller mode. Limit to 1 save slot, and you won't be able to reload your saves while inside the courtroom. Quick saves and autosaves will be disabled as well. Minimum ante for hands will be increased. Minimum and maximum penalties for answering incorrectly during the trial gameplay will be increased. I think we're gonna do whatever the normal mode is. Maximum ante will be increased as well, allowing you to earn the largest possible high score for credits in this episode. Hello, welcome. We'll unlock an exclusive phone charm that can't be earned any other way. You can turn it off at any time. Intended to encourage risk-taking and discourage save scumming. Oh man! They're targeting me specifically. They know I love save scumming. Consider enabling it if you want to pursue this mystery like a true gambler. Ooh. I don't know though. I feel like since it's been so long since we did the first episode, I want to be a little bit more. I want to be a little more cautious. Maybe we'll change it once I get the hang of it. Yeah. You know, maybe if like the other episode comes out sooner, I'll feel more confident with like trying it like that. Ooh. Sorry, I'm enjoying some cold beverage. It's been getting kind of warm here. I actually went, sorry, I'm doing just a little bit more chatting even though we haven't really started the stream yet. I finally went hiking yesterday and it was so freaking hot. It was like 85 degrees, which is a little warm for this early. I think it's cooled off a bit today, but it was like sunny and 85 and humid. I was like, you're killing me. Disable tutorials? Let's enable them for a little bit because I don't remember. Forget what else. I was also waiting for Paper Lily, the next chapter to come out of that, but they're not there yet. Yeah, probably pretty close to 30 Celsius. But very, very hot, humid, and sunny. Listen, wanted to thank you for coming over. Wanted to thank me for coming over. Figures you'd notice. Anyone could tell something's bothering you. You're the first person to say anything. What happened? Police came to see me. In public? No, they wanted to be considerate of my privacy. That's a first. They wanted to talk to me about the other week. About my whereabouts. And yours. I told them I didn't know anything. They must have loved that. Funny. What would you have done? In your shoes? Probably curse them out. Yeah, I could see that. I'm not gonna lie, I've definitely forgotten most of the characters' names. And I think there were a couple characters that they teased last time, but we didn't meet properly. Is there anything you want to ask me? No. Not even for a favor in return? No favors lost between friends, I say. Sounds like a toast. Huh, why not? To friends. I'll raise a glass to that. We have gray and we have aqua. Who are they? I've totally forgotten the main character's name, I'm not gonna lie. Glass him. What is this? A Telltale game? Vandalism detected. Ooh. Incident logged. Recorded at 8:55 a.m. local time. Geopositional data encoded. If I could have all citizens in the area. Blank off, copper. Temu Robocop. Hey man, I'm never gonna diss on a cool helmet, you know? I love a good like helmet or mask. What can I say? Visuals impaired. Facial recognition compromised. Pinging nearby opt-ins for corroborating evidence. Hey, he's lighting up every phone on the block. We need to go now, or what? He'll use his outdoor voice? Or he'll have us pinned down to our dental records before you could say we're Oh, that's right, Morgan. Morning, Officer Leo. You look different today. Oh, Leo's the name of the bot? Police Officer Leo. You do something new with your uniform? Are they throwing rubbish at him? Or was that just a cute little visual effect? Good morning to you too, Morgan citizen. To answer your question, no. I have not undergone any recent retrofitting. If you'd like a more detailed record of my maintenance history, you can make a request for... I've got it. It must be a new coat of paint. You're referring to the act of vandalism that just took place. Only the most recent one. Super Cop over here has a new dent every time I see him. Scars honorably earned in the line of duty. Scanning the street for jaywalkers and loiterers. If you could have a robot, like partner, husband, or spouse, or friend, would you? Something that I thought about. Well, not for me necessarily. It's more like just an interesting thought. I don't remember if I ever told this, but my family is like really into stuff like Amazon Alexa. You know, just having like little virtual assistants that they, you know, talk to. And they gave me one, and I ended up returning it to them because I was like, I just couldn't get into it. Mainly because, like, I live alone, so I don't really talk out loud that much. Anyways. And, like, even then, like, I know my phone is always spying on me anyways, but I feel like I can only deal with so much technology spying on me, you know? I don't really have any use for it, but it did make me think, you know. I think I mentioned before, there's a manga, I guess now an anime, that I kind of wanted to check out about, like, having an android. I think it's called, like, my wife has no emotions. It's about, like, an android wife. I don't know, though. I think that I think I like the idea, and for like a fictitious story, I don't know if I would like the idea for reality. Although people do that nowadays, like there's a lot of people talk to like chatbots for that kind of thing. And some people even have like, there's like even dedicated like chatbot kind of servers. I'm trying to remember, there was one that I heard of, what was it called? It's called like Replica or something. It was very, I don't know, it was very interesting to see what people say about it. You know, finding intimacy with too dystopian for you? I guess I could see that. You know, I sort of understand some people where maybe they have a longing for something. What if you fell in love with your robot vacuum? What if you fell in love with a Roomba? What then, huh? You think you could do that? I mean, people have done crazier things with a vacuum. Scars honorably earned in the line of duty, scanning the street for jaywalkers and loiterers. I think a Roomba's more like a cute pet. Don't worry, ma'am. Oh, he has a face. Aw. A report has been filed, and the police are working to resolve the situation. Oh yeah, isn't there was like a movie ad I saw not too long ago for like, what was it called? It was like Murderbot or something? Murderbot. Is it a movie or a TV show? Oh, maybe it's a TV show. Apparently it's based on a book. But I just remember, because like I saw the ad and like he starts off with a cool like robot helmet and then he takes it off and it's just some guy's face, and immediately I was like, I've immediately lost interest in this premise. If he's just gonna be a dude with a dude face, I don't care anymore. Civil disobedience at this time of day? What's the world coming to? They're just stragglers, ma'am. There was a period of unrest in the area last night. Although this guy's kind of cute. For a robot. For a human robot. Unlicensed protesting and demonstrating without a permit. Well, I hope you threw the book at them. The disturbance was handled, but individual instances of volatility may occur during the next 48 hours as we Work to apprehend outside actors. Thanks for the forecast. So, does the bleeding stop on its own? Androids don't have blood, ma'am. This is just a leakage of oxidizing fluid. My mistake. So you don't need a bandage, I take it. The leakage will dry shortly. That conversation thoroughly exhausted, I let my mind wander as I wait for the signal to cross. Yeah, but a lot of the droids in Star Wars are very... They lack a lot of human touch in that series, I will say that. They do come across as like more primitive robots. Like they definitely have some personality and stuff, but you know, like sometimes you see like in a series where robots are functionally just human, and I don't just mean personality or physically, but you know, their reasoning and desires are very human-like. For example, in like Detroit Become Human, like they just look like humans, but they also basically just want most of the same things as humans. It's an interesting idea, though. I was thinking a lot about that recently. I was talking to my dad yesterday while hiking, talking about stuff like AI. Thinking about that. I unfocus my eyes and dull my hearing, sinking beneath the hum of the city streets. You have a favorite droid from Star Wars, though? Oh yeah, that's it. Sorry, I'm like really I'm barely getting into the game so far. That was the other thing, is my dad was like, you have to watch Andor, so I guess I'll try to make time to do that. What am I saying? Make time. I have all the time in the world. I just need to make concentration. I mean, I like some of the less human droids, like R2-D2 and stuff. I did think there was another couple droids that were really interesting too. But, you know, they're definitely not my favorite part of the series. All right. I gotta concentrate up on the game now. Oh yeah, Revan. He's kind of popular for like I forget which game is he from? Is he from KOTOR or SWOTOR? Or maybe both. Both? Okay. I'm not very familiar with the other one. She looks like a blue lady. And fading through the lives bustling around me like so much sea foam. Across the way, a large man with worn hands and an ill-fitting belt turns to a gorilla-like husk of a machine and cuffs his hands in front of his mouth. Yo, 61. The machine halts its lifting with uncanny precision and turns to him. We're going on break. The robot tilts its head... Oh wait, that was the guy who said it. The robot tilts its head to the side. Can't work the piler without Schwinn up on the roof, so... I don't know. Take a load off, will ya? Understood. came the over-enunciated reply. The man, already walking away, tosses a dismissive wave behind him. Yeah, understood. A moment after the man turns the corner, the robot attempts to mimic the hand wave to no one in particular. Goddamn coppers on every street corner. At a bus stop, or what used to be a bus stop, now a charging station. A passionate young man voices his democratic opinion loud enough for the whole street to hear. They declare martial law when I wasn't looking? The small woman beside him, trying hard to appear even smaller, shifts in her seat. Well, they're just doing their jobs, so... Bots don't have jobs, except the ones they stole from us. Notice how they don't patrol nearly so heavy in Uptown, even on the worst days? His audience, captive by virtue of sharing the same charging pool as him, shuffles, coughs, and stares even harder at their phones. The woman looks at her knees and pulls at her shirt. You're kind of embarrassing me right now. Ugh. He makes a vague gesture with his hand to indicate he stepped off his soapbox, and the shoulders of everyone around him relax a centimeter. Oh, now that's just... A woman with exhaustion in her eyes sighs at a hologram floating above her chrome-plated palm. While a rounded, smooth-looking android pushes a carriage behind her. Ellen, walk around the block and get her some air, would you? Apparently, this call can't wait, and it's louder than a garbage disposal out here. Of course, ma'am. I'd be glad to. The android punctuates its sentence with a sound halfway between a whir and a purr. What would that be? A whir and a purr? Brrr. Which, judging by the coos and giggles coming from the child, seems to have been well received. I mean, it seems kind of like your standard cyberpunk design, I think, for this environment. Robots, holograms, and androids, drones, coppers, if you prefer. Can't so much as sneeze in the city without a dozen different ads offering you a handkerchief. Night City? What's Night City from? I can't remember. There's a vocal minority that think they're the downfall of civilization, but for everyone else... Cyberpunk universe? I felt like it was in something else too, but maybe it's just that. You're too kind, ma'am. Thank you for your concern. Hello. Greetings. It's hard to hate them when they're so eager to please. Yeah, this android Leo is quickly growing on me. He's cutie, even without his cool helmet. Crosswalk's giving me the okay. Keep us safe, yeah? Have a good day, Morgan citizen. It's a bright, crisp morning in the city. Lights changing and people moving in click-clacking harmony, all smooth as clockwork. Were I in a worse mood, it would all be a bit much. But I went out last night. Oh. And I'm feeling pretty refreshed this morning. I mean, I think they could play any cyberpunk or be familiar with any of that kind of stuff. I feel like a lot of it shares a pretty similar aesthetic. As I reach the other end of the street, I pivot lightly and give Automated Dependent Assistant Officer L30 my best impression of a salute. Thank you for your service. And of course, he creaks out a mirrored response. No sense of sarcasm, the poor bastards. But I didn't come all this way downtown to poke fun at the only happily employed class in human history. No, I came down here to make an important purchase. Today, I'm going to buy a gun. Episode 1. I can't remember the name of the of her rival. I really want to see her rival again. I really liked her. But I suspect this episode will be longer than the free episode, so we may not see her rival until later. I actually have no idea how long this free episode is going to be by comparison. I think for episode 0, I did it all in one stream. I definitely wouldn't mind if this one was like 2 streams. An idle mind. So if you did not see episode 1 or episode 0, Morgan, our character, is a criminal defendant and also a serial killer. We spent episode 0 helping some poor schmuck who was being charged with murder of the person that we killed. And at the end that we reveal that, or Morgan reveals to the unseen audience that she is in fact the serial killer. So I wonder if all of our clients are going to be people being charged for our murders, or maybe just miscellaneous clients. No staff around, but all the lights are on. Should I have knocked? What's up? Desk personality setting 6. The cool one. Let me know if I can help you with anything. I've probably forgotten more about firearms than you're programmed to remember. I bet you can. I recently acquired a license to carry one concealed. Nice. Are you in law enforcement? Do you shoot for sport? Business or pleasure? Neither. May I ask why you're looking to carry concealed, ma'am? Oh, you know. Assault with deadly weapon, cruel intent, that kind of thing. Some of my clients live in a very rough neighborhood. Even in broad daylight, coming down to the lower wards for house visits can be... I see. You're a lawyer. So I guess you'd say I'm in the market for self-defense. We have a wide selection of options for self-defense in a variety of sizes and calibers, with spread and PA fire options available. My bad, PA stands for pseudo-automatic. I know. But for concealed, it'd have to be at least be small enough to... This would just go a lot faster if I just tell the desk what I want. I don't mind being patient and hearing a little bit more. But walking in here and asking for a specific model of gun is gun nut behavior. Not trying to stand out. Some of the ones I test fired at the range left my shoulders sore for days. Do you have anything more discreet? Right. No problem. Electromagnetic pulse models feature minimal kickback with the highest accuracy. One targeted pulse of electricity can disable attackers at medium to short range, non-lethally and quietly. Sure, they're plenty quiet, but they have piss poor range, and even sustained fire won't do shit to any modder with insulation less than a few years old. Glorified tasers. Fairly suitable as party favors for anxiety-stricken college kids. Well, hopefully not too quiet. I'd want someone to come running to my rescue. Of course. Would you like to take a look at our mag rails? Bullseye. We're proud to offer a number of models that utilize the latest in miniaturized ultra-capacity batteries to generate a Lorentz force which slings a slug fast enough to miss a limb at over 30 meters. Ooh. And it's safe? Of course, ma'am. My bad. Two-factor safeties with GPS and emergency services sync. Won't go off unless you want it to. Or someone will definitely come running. And somebody will definitely come running. All those convenient safety features make it incredibly easy for the police, or anyone who can dupe their tool set, to lock you out of your own gun with the flip of a switch. Couldn't walk a piece like that down a single uptown street without passing through 9 or 10 no-fire zones. They're the very worst, most useless kind of weapon a criminal could buy. Sounds perfect. How do we get started? Why does it feel like every desk I run into has to be such a character? Mercifully, it's tucked itself away while the fabricators get the gun tagged. I've got time to kill. So is there anything worth checking out around the shop? Ooh. Hate these kinds of screens. Gotta look at them with your nose turned up, or else they start eye tracking. Oh. Next thing you know, they're saying hello on a first-name basis. But I've got practice with this sort of thing. I can skim the headlines at least. Why, the 12-6 work week gives us more free time than ever. 12-6? 12 hours, 6 days? That's evil. I'm 14 and I tried dating a smart UI. It made me the happiest I've ever been. Term limits are anti-democracy. Oof. Transfusion from worm android saves soldier's life. One hell of a headline. If the anime 16 wasn't selling well before, I'm sure by now it's... Yeesh. Would it kill you to clean up a little more? I mean, who's cleaning up? That one's a hologram. Guess the desk kindly asking customers not to litter can only get you so far if you're not willing to pay someone to sweep up. Wait, is this trash? This flyer, it's scannable? Stagnancy theory. Really? They get a lot of self-proclaimed philosophers in here. Oh. A stagnant world. Modern man's Plato. Renowned net philosopher Corbin Cawthorne, real name withheld, offers to take you on a deep dive into the global trends and sociological patterns that have driven our planet to the halting point in his groundbreaking and controversial seminar. Moore's Law used to be the benchmark. Now it feels like a pipe dream. We used to dream of humanity marching bravely into space, of artisans crafting virtual wonders that made the confines of our own reality seem limited. Instead, our brightest minds spend all their time and effort kicking the can of climate crisis down the road, while their more fortunate peers spend their most productive working years in search engine optimization and customer experience design. The middle class, eaten alive by the rich they prop up, can no longer afford the very products they help create. Without mass consumer demand, tech no longer has evolutionary pressures to be as small and powerful as possible. In stagnant waters, only parasites and disease grow aplenty. The only cure comes from you taking action. What action am I supposed to take? Another link at the bottom, probably leading to a collection dish. Oh. Or a state honeypot, if you want to be paranoid. I better burn this shit before some neat freak idiot picks it up and gets arrested. Is that saying she's paranoid about it? Can't really look at any of these guns. Someone left a data pad out here. What's in the news today? Lobo threatens Tetra with ransomware vulgarity. The internationally wanted terrorist and serial data thief, most commonly known as Lobo, has seized a cache of vital keystone data files belonging to the Tetra Metallics group. Oh yeah, I can't remember. I feel like in the last chapter or episode, I keep forgetting. I always get chapter and episode mixed up. Did they talk about the companies that made a lot of these androids? I feel like that was a part of it. In a blitz of cross posts on 90 different socials, translated into all 11 dominant languages, the supposed hacktivist, radical conservationist, and gentleman thief made clear their intent to ransom said files back to their lawful owners at severe cost. Though the posts were quickly flagged and quarantined thanks to user reports, Lobo's latest manifesto, which have declined to publish here on grounds of journalistic integrity and due to the strong language contained within, has remained in circulation thanks to the loose network of rogue data harbors. In addition to a sizable monetary ransom, Lobo put out a list of demands that spanned pages. Most prominent among them was a call for de-escalation of all conflicts surrounding rare earth metals, or earth metal deposits around the equator. Sources at Tetra refused to confirm or deny reports that Lobo's captured data impacted only their billing services, but insisted that the corporation could not in good faith resume distribution until the ransom situation was resolved. Market prices for rare earth metals surged following the hacking attack, as supply halted and demand rose, stoked by memories of catastrophic supply chain distribution in the mid-21st century. Oh yeah, I don't remember if we have a year for this game. A spokesperson for mining is Progress, a lobbying group that represents the rare earth metal industry, called Lobo's repeated attacks acts of terror against the free market. Whoa there, looks like you're not logged in. Wanna log in? No. Lobo again, or someone using their name. Suppose it doesn't matter if they're the original or not, as long as they're a genuine threat. No one could snare a corporation as rich as Tetra without serious skills. That seemed consistent with Lobo's politics, making demands for... Did we know about Lobo last time? I mean, ransom, but also de-escalation. Okay, this is all returned to 0 this time. I wish we had oh, there's my coins. Too bad we don't have the profiles we had last time. Oh, I'd like to process your request, but Lobo beat our ass till we ragdolled. The big bad wolf was here. You are welcome. We're clearing out this cache of soy slop before it could clog your brain arteries any further. To whatever dumbass dishwater script kitty they yelled at to come fix this, a word of advice from your superior. I own that password suggestion algorithm. Want to resecure? Try this. Relax your shoulders, stand up from your desk, take a deep breath, and then firebomb your own servers. Literally cheaper for you at this point. For the rest of you slack-jawed screen lobotomites looking for a little excitement in their search history, find a pig and rip their throat out. That'll teach you how to run with the wolf. Lobo is king. Damn. Animate 16, latest Android, Noble Electronics, greatest machine we've ever seen. good battery life, 154 hours, patented soft touch. Anything else really good for this? Not interested in sponsored search results? Get premium. Missed. Oh, yeah. to vaporize. Shoot, kill. The bloody spray. Yeah. Copper ads. Oh, yeah. For RoboCops. A derogatory word for automated dependents, particularly ones licensed by or operating under the authority of the state. Clanker, chrome drone, microchip. Microchip breath? That's a little bit long. Were considered a form of hate speech, incidents of destruction or corporate property, where such terms were used in prior communications would qualify for additional severity and higher fines paid toward the damaged party. Most radical interpretations of hate speech law, however, prejudice can only be directed towards sentient living things, people, animals, corporations. If you feel a corporation you know has been a victim of a hate crime, you can report it at our confidential portal here. Mods, body modifications. I like that this bonus information, it's not just like a rehash of exactly what we've seen before, it is actually more information that you can either skim, but also has a couple funny gags to it. Yeah, normal cyborg stuff. While body mods have been seen throughout history across a wide variety of cultures, the modern body modification movement is differentiated by a shift from intrinsic factors, expression or identity, to extrinsic extrinsic motivators, job opportunities, technology. Yeah, I think the guy we represented last time, part of his deal was that he had his arm removed so he could get a modded arm for a job, but there was like an issue with it, so he couldn't actually work. Historically, mods have been classified based on which section of the user's spinal cord the interfacing occurs at. Thoracic, lumbar, cervical. But this system does not account for mods which interact directly with the human brain. Increased prevalence of so-called above-the-neck modding in recent years led to several corporations and medical organizations proposing their own new classification system. Blah 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 blah. Can you return mods? Can you undo mod surgery? Best reviewed neural implants. 2086. Okay, that must be the year. Add. Automated dependent. Referred to in common conversations as add or ads. Catch-all term for encompassing robots, intelligent programs, interactive holograms, androids. In the mid-21st century, lobbyists pushed through new tax classifications to define intelligent machines that were neither salaried employees nor mere equipment. But because it afforded tax breaks and lighter tariffs, the term became so commonly used that it spread to all branches of the robotics industry, from which point it began to penetrate into everyday speech and pop culture. Some sociologists argue that the term owes its popularity not simply to its brevity and prevalence, but to its ability to draw a distinction between the commonplace, robots, androids, smart UIs, and the internationally illegal, artificial intelligence. So smart UI is different than AI in this world. Searching for this term may incur an account lag. Interesting that artificial intelligence is considered different. Oh, that's right, store. Morgan charm. Fan charm. Oh yeah, the fidget tubby. Charmless. Ooh, I have 29 store credits. Ooh, and get a phone case. Emma, that's right, Emma. I love her. Alright, let's... Ah, look, we got a Morgan charm. I kind of like the fidget tubbies. But I also kind of want Emma. Hmm. I wonder what would suit her. I like this one. Oh, okay, I can only have one at a time. I was wondering if we were gonna have like multiple or how to equip them, but I guess if they're sold, you can just change them whatever you want. Alright, we have just enough. Let's see her. Oh, okay, this one's also a charm. I feel like this would make Morgan very unhappy to see. Ooh, some of these are pretty expensive. Rose gold's very expensive. The other one's not so much. I feel like red suits her a lot, but I also feel like she has the aqua thought text. Let's see what the magenta one looks like. Oh, I'm not a big fan of that, honestly. Let's just go to black. If I do charmless, is it? Oh, it only removes that. White phone case. Yeah, let's just keep it white. Alright. Me. This likes sunburns, bath, and karaoke. Likes rooftops, huh? Criminal defense attorney. You can't ask somebody that. Hidden talent baking. Really wish our profiles carried over. That's the... I kind of get them clearing out evidence and reading lists each time. Corbin... Yeah, this is... Okay, the reading list is the same. The search terms are new. Okay. Let's say de-escalation. Not the first time Lobos voiced their displeasure with the decades-old simmer of conflict around these topics. But unless the rare earth metals powering all our batteries and fueling all our pretty little androids are suddenly made a lot less rare overnight, I doubt the state will stop taking an interest in these regions' politics anytime soon. Oh. There's some kind of news program playing on the screen. Most public places are too scared to put on any channel with content more political than the smiling micro apartment flippers. But this is a gun store after all. Power is always political. Wait, how long has it been? Shouldn't take them that long to get my gun properly bugged. Sorry, we've received a breaking news story. We're seeking confirmation and... Yes, we have it confirmed. Lead programmer at Noble Electronics and famed designer of the Turing solution, Dr. David Asher, has passed away. What? Propriety Vantage automated dependent management system, along with the animated series of androids. Must be some kind of corporate propaganda tactic, or... No, they wouldn't risk... Fake news? But why? Perhaps best known for his breakthroughs in the field of machine learnings and language. Misinformation, maybe trying to... Authored many of the developments that allowed Noble's rapid growth and market dominance. That's right, it was the Noble company was the one making all these machines. David Asher is dead? Including the popular desk series of smart UIs. That's very sad. I didn't ask. Sorry, I just... Commands only. Understood. Will you be paying with cash or credit? Debit. The gun was light. Lighter than I expected. A real gun should always be heavy, greater than the sum of its parts. That's one of the things I like about them. Their weight. They're like anchoring the world around them. Like they're a fixed point in time. Like everything else is just relative to them, either closer or further to the end. I would have liked something heavier during that walk back to my apartment. I would have liked to have something to feel far away from. Morgan's apartment. I don't think we saw this last time. I think this is new. Didn't realize I was home until my hand was on the door. What's this? What am I doing? What am I doing? Fumbling in my pocket for my lighter. Golden, polished, tastefully ergonomic, and fine and expensive. And a good lighter. It was a good gift. I kept the card, didn't I? Here it is. To the only smoker in my life. I know gold's a bit much for your personal style, but they don't make a lot of these anymore. Believe it or not, the only other people who share your vice are stuffy old men with bad, expensive taste. Hope you can manage to get some use out of it anyway. Your friend, David. She knew David, oh. But she thinks he's faking his death. News might have more information by now. Or not. Looks like the net's full of copy-pasted statements from Noble. Auto-edited montages, ill-fitting quotes. Reactions to the news from every micro-celebrity under the sun. Their raw, authentic emotion brought to you live from all the car seats and bathroom mirrors of the world. But there's nothing about his death. Not even a time window. Did he die this morning? Was he found dead in his bed? Maybe she was talking to him at the beginning of the game? Although, honestly, I already forgot what they were even talking about. Has he been dead for days, while Noble's just been waiting for the right time to let it leak? Or did he die last night, while I was out screwing around? Phone call. Better not be work-related. Although that kind of reminds me of, like, one of my complaints is how a lot of these, like, news outlets online nowadays. I mean, probably not just online, but, you know, you can clearly tell that a lot of news outlets just copy each other now. David Escher. David Escher was a renowned computer scientist, user experience designer, industry leader, philanthropist, and lead programmer at Noble Electronics. He first received worldwide recognition for his postgraduate thesis on intelligent programmatic linguistic weighting, a body of work which would come to be known as the Turing solution. Though he retained the original patent on the Turing solution for the rest of his life, he was famously unlitigious. By most industry experts' estimate, the Turing solution exists in some form in 92% of active, automated, dependent source codes. Okay. Why is some of this red? I guess updated to be past tense? From retains to retained is the was. But I guess now that he's dead, supposedly, the patent is up. David Escher's philanthropic efforts and invaluable skills place him at the front and center of Noble Electronics' public image. Many considered him to be the unofficial face of the company, and his private life graced the tabloids and gossip section of the net on many occasions. Passed away, yeah, okay, July 7th, 2086. Large number of edits in the last 44 minutes. Dissemination of disinformation is a class 3 misdemeanor. Spreading conspiracy theories about public figures is a violation of... I guess people are trying to spread them on this article. Oh. And this is David? I think this was the shadow we saw at the beginning. Sense of humor unique. Shampoo expensive. Okay. Better not be work related. I'm not in the right mood. Oh, Morgan? Thanks for picking up so fast. Ugh, Jessica Starling. Who asked me to call her? Hi, Jess. Oh, listen, I need to... I've already seen the news. What? Oh. Of course you have, duh. Sorry I didn't tell you sooner. I just with the company and their people and all the... What I mean is, if it were up to me, you would have been the first call I made. For a decision like that to be up to David's assistant, about 1,000 other noble employees above her on the ladder would have to get axed, but... It's alright, Jess. No one ever really knows what to do with these kinds of things. Still, I'm sorry you had to hear it from Stream Chiron? What difference does it make how the information gets to me? I could have stumbled upon his corpse myself, and I would feel mostly the same. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to call me anyway. Yeah. I want to get more information. She's the best source I'm going to get, maybe for weeks. What to ask at a time like this? I was supposed to express denial first, but she's probably short on time. And I don't feel like following the playbook to the letter right now. Can you tell me what happened? The police, they think he took something. Suicide? Drugs? Police are already involved. They say it was some kind of poison or... God. Noble's got a lot of weight to bludgeon the state with, especially in the city. I would think they'd keep the police at arm's length for at least the first few days. Listen, Morgan, I need to ask something of you. Of course, Jess, whatever you need. Whatever you need? A bit much, but she's grieving. This is just how people talk. It's not like my day was really salvageable anyway. I'd like to bring you up here, to David's place. What do you mean? There's something I have to give you. Ooh. You're not handling his will already, are you? If the police are involved, it'll be a while before... No, it's nothing like that. Before he... No, please don't hold back on my account. David asked me to get this into your hands. It wasn't work-related. But he asked me. I wonder how she knows him, though. I know I'm asking a lot here, but... Since it's turned out to be the last thing he's ever asked me to do, I'd like to get it done. I don't think showing up at crime scenes more often or more quickly than strictly necessary. I don't like showing up at crime scenes more often or more quickly than strictly necessary. That's when I only have to worry about the police. The noble looming over all this, security will be doubled and scrutiny tripled. This is too risky. There's no logical reason to agree to her request. But you gotta be curious, aren't you, Morgan? Swing by my place with a cab, yeah? Besides, my own morbid curiosity. Ha ha ha! I knew it! She loves the high stakes though. She can't help herself. Right, of course. Hey, shouldn't you get back to work, you? Thanks, Morgan. Thank you. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. All right, have a good work. What is it? You don't happen to have anything I could wear in black, do you? She needs something for the funeral, I guess? Why is she borrowing clothes from me? Are we close like that? That's crazy. Right. In transit. The autocab hums a synthesized purr as our on-ramp merges onto Canopy Superhighway steadily and suddenly all at once. Not much super about it, but it does cast one hell of a shadow. The canopies always felt very arts and crafts to me. Cobbled together, always added on to, never finished, never planned. It's clearly taken a lot of time and effort to make, but the end result's still ugly, and it feels like it could fall apart at any moment. This is a lot of infrastructure, it feels like. You okay, Morgan? You look a little carsick. Ugh, don't remind me. Oh man, that's the thing I hate about going for hikes too, is like the last bit up like the mountain trails, like in the car. Ugh. I get so carsick so easily. I really have to hold on for dear life, basically. Can't do anything in a car. I'm fine. Thanks for asking. But if I ignore her text now, she'll just send more later. Freckles? Which? Oh yeah, I forgot last time we texted some kid. Saw your friend Asher on the news. Does everybody know we're friends with him? How are we friends with this guy? We don't seem very techie. Rip. Thank you for trying to be sincere. Worth a shot. We all have our strengths. God damn, you are one passive-aggressive little girl. What? Why is all your filial piety go out the window whenever you talk to me? Is this my mom? Filial piety doesn't even work on you. You love yourself too much to appreciate respect. True, went the train. See, Freckles, you can be insightful when you aren't too busy side-eyeing the whole world. Wonder where I picked that up from. Not from me. I'm pretty sure you were born muttering insults under your breath. The nurses tried to make you cry and you responded by giving them self-esteem issues. Did you ever have dealings with Noble? 10 out of 10 shift in the convo. Subtle as a car crash. Subtlety doesn't work on you either. Well, it might. If you were good at it, XD. This is me asking you for advice. Nope. K. That's such like a parent thing to send the K. Guess this never sunk in. Because you spent most of your apprenticeship asleep. But my clients were all celebs. The rich and famous. I didn't have that many dealings with the Megs that own their likeness. Is it really that different? Plenty. Celebs don't like people seeing their dirty side. So they pay smart people like me to clean up their messes. But Megs don't like people seeing them at all, period. Megs, what is that like? Like mega millionaires? Megs the sharks? Megalodon? And also, Megs are a lot more lively when it comes to being gross. Hard workers with a lot of stress to vent. Stop. Do you have any actual help to offer? Truth be told, I did have this one run-in where I got blank deep in corporate intrigue. Why? Because I got caught beep up the beep Annie-Life's 45 poster girl. God damn it. Hard worker. A lot of stress to vent. Ha 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 ha. Glad to know I can always reach out to you in my time of need. I'm gonna let that slide, because I know you're in mourning. Look. Corporate types are all a bunch of paranoid drug addicts. Puffing glue and playing roulette on their phones. While fantasizing about stabbing everyone else in the meeting to death. So don't expect them to play nice just because Asher was your pal. My actual advice is get whatever you're owed. Then get out of there as fast as boy. That's a beautiful thought. Auntie. Oh, she's auntie, not mom. But I assume she raised me? I mean it. Corporations prefer Viking funerals. Sending them out to sea? A dignified ceremony where the body's sent out to sea on a boat. Then, they set everything on fire and sink the ashes to the bottom of the ocean. Try not to linger, Freckles. You don't want to be stuck on board when they start knocking their arrows. Oh yeah, I did know that they burned the boats, but I was like, for some reason in my mind, I'm like, so I guess they shoot the boat with the firing arrows. With arrows on fire. Not that they have like just a very small, slow flame that catches up to it eventually. Thanks. But what the hell was that about me sleeping on the job? I worked harder in one day than any of you Gen Alpha drunks did all week. Should've worked smarter, lol. Oh yeah, I guess if her auntie's Gen Alpha, what does that make her? Gen Beta? Should've worked smarter, lol. And if you want to go there, you did literally fall asleep on the job. All right. I couldn't tell. I was like, from her little sprite here. Hold on. Let me put my mouse back on screen. Capture cursor. From her little profile up here. Oh, thought she was looking a little young. But she's definitely got some anti creases. What was that? What that? Why do you have that? I fell asleep at the Christmas party, I guess? It's not even accurate. Work parties are still work, Freckles. I only had my eyes closed. Because all you old farts had your cameras flash on. Morgan? Something's wrong. You're sweating. It's interesting the kinds of things that get Morgan pressed. Just deleting some spam. Got a couple more minutes of crawling through the canopy's guts before we reach David's part of the city. Uptown. Our better half. I guess this is where we'll find the funk, huh? Gleaming opera houses and towering corporate apartments. Boutique shops with more cameras than customers. Penthouses stacked upon penthouses in a frantic climb to the top of the rat pile. All ringed in by restaurants with long wait times and small serving sizes. The joke is that uptown folks go most of the year without touching street level. Not much of a punchline there. It's basically true. By now, this whole block must be swarmed with cops, themselves surrounded by media, and all encircled by onlookers. I could try and enjoy these last few moments of calm. But if the storm's coming either way, I'd rather use this time to try and find my footing. Actually, Jess, if you've got a second, I was curious about... Ooh. Unlockable. Let's start with you and David. Remind me, how many years did you and David work together? Oh. Well, I started with the company about 4 years ago. They offered me a temp contract when I was graduating. I was put in HR right in the middle of a hiring burst, so I spent 2 months in the Warrens. And an aptitude test got me fast-tracked to mid-low management. Sorry, Warrens? That's just what we called the company's dorms back then, on account of all the... well, all the people. Plus, it was underground. Ugh. Didn't see the sun that first month. My skin got so dry. Is that normal in your industry? Normal for everyone I worked with. Except David, of course. But I mean, he was the best. Yeah. One Tuesday morning, Dr. David Asher walked right up to my desk like I had won the lotto. Said I should come work for him. Dr. David Asher directly. Ooh la la. On a random Tuesday morning, like it was nothing. He didn't like to do things on Mondays. Said people were always too tired to get anything done anyway. Yeah, that's right. He did say that. I should know by now, right? 3 years of arranging meetings and keeping him organized and occasionally straightening his tie. He was a good boss. He was a good guy. Yeah. When did you last speak with him? In person? Thursday. Thursday afternoon. Ooh, what day of the week is it today? The day before yesterday. So today is Saturday. He seemed normal. I mean, I didn't... Oh, we still don't really know anything, Jess. I guess she's under the impression it's... or Jess is under the impression it's intentional. Holy cow, how is it so late already? What the heck? I thought I started earlier than I did. What? I've only been streaming for like an hour and a half. How is it this late? That's crazy. Yeah, you're right. Thanks. Thursday is the last time I saw him. That was when he asked me to meet with you. Jess, I have to wonder. What kind of request did David make of you that it couldn't wait a few days? Right, of course. Jess might think that the company or the police are going to get involved and stop it. He asked me to give you something. Something? Is she trying to build suspense? Right, it's just, well, I don't know exactly what it is. You don't know what it is? He asked me to give you the contents of his safe. Ooh. Are we headed to the bank then? I assume it's an office safe. Yeah. No, see, he has this private safe in his basement. Maybe you've seen it. Well, I say safe, but it might be more accurate to call it a storage locker? Or a false wall? And all he told you was he wanted me to have what's inside? Right. He was very clear about that part. Your eyes only, straight into your hand. Okay. I assume that she's not actually... I kind of assume that Jess probably doesn't even know the combination to the safe anyways. Handle it in person, he said. Strange. This is all pretty analog for somebody who has... for someone as technically gifted as David. Coming from anyone else, I'd call it paranoid. But David was never paranoid. Even when he had every right to be. I wonder if David knows about Morgan. Maybe he has some dirt on us. If you wanted this handled in a certain way, it must be for good reason. I'm guessing you've already been to his place? Yeah, it's a real mess over there. It's that bloody? Oh god, no, not that kind of mess. I just mean with the cops stacked on the media, stacked on the lawyers. Each of them with their own network of drones and all their droning. It's very, can't tell, is she like supposed to be like coughing, sneezing, blowing her nose? Very high productivity atmosphere is what I mean. When were you able to get over there? Well, I got a call from legal late last night. They weren't exactly delicate in breaking the news to me. Last night. They said they needed my help sorting through his, well, you know, how he left things organized sometimes. He's been dead since last night, and they kept it under wraps that long. I know there are a lot of powerful people in his circles, but to stop it from leaking for over 12 hours? Seems like more than just your typical powerful people trying to control the narrative. Seems more like there's something they're actively trying to suppress. So you found out last night. Right, last night. Oh god. I'm so sorry. I should have told you as soon as I found out. Really, it's alright. Did you see anything? No, I still haven't actually seen him at all. He was airlifted to the hospital ASAP, and that's where he passed, so... Well, I didn't get the impression that the cops had been there that long. Not compared to the lawyers. They and the rest of the company, people seem pretty entrenched. Noble set up camp before the police even arrived. So, what time would that have been? I guess I got there around 9 p.m.? Because at 9:15, I switched my phone to silo mode, and I got locked out of everything but my work stuff. Sent my last blah at 9:13, see? Gonna expire whoever put me in heels this morning. It me. Is that her tweet? Or blah? They can do that to your phone? Lock you out of social media? Of course not. Well, unless I'm on the clock. Or off the clock, but on company property. Then they can remote all my tech, yeah? How convenient. I could see that if it was a company phone. So, if I got in at 9 p.m., I'd guess the rest of the company people had been there since 8:30 p.m.? I hadn't been there more than a few minutes before the mood changed. Word about the hospital declaring him dead had started to leak. I see. He died after he reached the hospital. Unexpected. It's 2086. You might be in trouble if you get stuck in bureaucratic purgatory when you need to be in the emergency room, but other than that, if you reach the hospital alive, a good doctor can stabilize most any patient within a few moments. And Noble Electronics' lead programmer would have a very good doctor. So what the hell happened? Is she mistaken? Was he just not officially declared dead until reaching the hospital for some reason, or... Hard to think about, I know. Yeah. Hard to believe. Headline. I saw that headline, by the way. The one where your warm android saved that soldier's life. Oh, that one? Oh yeah. Pretty feel good, don't you think? So, folks at the company must have been in pretty high spirits lately, I take it. That's what I thought when I first heard about it, but... I don't know. Maybe upper management's never happy? Because they're still just riding sales harder than ever, pushing the traditional consumer markets. I thought they'd start to build a pitch for Congress the day that story dropped. Big patriotic campaign telling everyone why we need a contract for warm androids in the military. Yeah, that does seem like a thing that'd be obvious. But I haven't heard about them moving staff around for anything like that. Maybe it's all above my pay grade. All the corporate power and money in the world. And they're still joyless assholes, but they wouldn't even celebrate their victories. So, David asked you to do this on Thursday, correct? Yeah, Thursday. And he passed last night? Friday? Yeah. Wait, you don't think that when we met, he had already decided? It's not healthy to speculate on that sort of thing. More importantly, it's not helpful. The dead don't have anything to offer the living. I should know. Yeah, you're probably right. Besides, we'll need to focus. Judging by the size of the crowd I'm looking at, looks like we're about to jump into the thick of it. I always wonder if I looked up July 1st, 2086, would it in fact be a Saturday? Noble Employee Housing Building. Platia? Lobby. Oh, even the corporate guys live in the housing? I feel like even if they have penthouses, they wouldn't want to live there. They'd want to have their bougier private place. And I thought there were a lot of police here before. Maybe too late to ask, but you're not bad with crowds, are you, Morgan? She's kidding, right? Downright airy in here compared to what we just waded through. Wide eyes and clenched fists, head peeking out over shoulders and around signs. Police, both mechanical and warm-blooded, closing ranks with holograms and quick-set wires to draw a severe perimeter. While protesters, mourners, fanatics, and busybodies shuffle about at the edges of the police line, the heat of their panicked anxiety washing over. Huh? Who the hell were all those people? Yeah, I was gonna say, it's not very crowded over here, to be honest. Well, they've always been... there have always been people with strong feelings about our products. Androids step forward into the mob, gently, firmly, unfeelingly parting the human tide. Are they protesters? Most of them with official police branding, but a few remotely deputized consumer models emerge from the crowd to join them. All of them built by Noble. All of them built from David's code. All of them standing vigil outside his tomb. This is all technically company property, isn't it? Yeah, David had the penthouse all to himself, but every floor's tenants are Noble employees too. Not an uncommon arrangement uptown. Oh man, that would suck so bad. Like, I don't care how big the building is. There's something about like knowing that your boss is still in the same building as you, even when you're at home. Park at Noble, rent from Noble. Wave hello to your Noble neighbor in the morning and make sure to request a spot in line at the official company crematorium. They don't actually do that last part, I think. I was about to say, I was like, how do you know? Does Noble handle employee funerary arrangements? Yeah, it's a pretty standard benefit, actually. It's cheap for them compared to dental. Yeah, I was about to say, that actually might be a pretty good benefit to get. Like, funerals can be pretty expensive. But Noble's always been generous with benefits. Work hard and the company will have you set for life. And death, I guess. And after. Both the state and Noble have gotten themselves entrenched here in the lobby. Security and damage control and PR and liability. Everybody just glad to be working. I'm feeling a little overstimulated. Any chance we could just skip these checkpoints? Hahaha. No? Absolutely not? So, who do we need permission from? The cops or the company? My request went through, so we should have to go ahead. From both of them at this point. I was like, Morgan's got a gun, but it's surely disabled being in Uptown, so it's probably fine. We won't need to go near the actual, is it still called a crime scene if it's not technically a crime? I don't want to think about how many suits Noble's paying to debate that question right this very instant. David's vault is in the penthouse's basement. But we can't get to it from these ground floor elevators. It's weird to think about like a penthouse having a basement, because it wouldn't technically be underground. It would just be the bottom floor of the penthouse, I guess. But I assume that it's not the main entry floor of the penthouse. We'll have to ride straight up to the rooftop veranda, walk in his front door, and then head down. If Jess says we can do all that without stumbling across where he died, then where did he die? I thought it was his penthouse. Okay, so if we just flash my ID card at any problem that comes up, including him? Oh, London. Where's his partner? Hey ladies, look, I'm sorry, but I'm afraid we're at capacity at the moment. Let anyone else by and we won't be able to maintain... Oh, you're that lawyer, Morgan. You caught me, detective. How long's it been? Feels like it's been ages. Oh dear. I'm not still bitter about our last encounter, I hope. I'll live. I don't see the spunky one around. That's what I was thinking. Where's she at? She taking a mental health day to preserve that unflappable charm? Detective Reyes is around. Why? You miss her that bad? No, I miss Emma. I've had blind pimples that were more endearing. What's a blind pimple? You two know each other? Just Starling. Meet homicide detective Kasem London. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, miss. Oh, likewise? As you might have guessed, the detective and I are acquainted. Comes with the line of work. Morgan's being modest, sweetheart. We're practically blood. Oh, wow, me? Sweetheart. Something wrong, Starling? Huh? No, nothing wrong. But, close as we are, I still can't just let her walk in off the street and onto the scene of an ongoing investigation. Even Noble's lawyers have to play by the rules today. Play by the rules, so there is a game afoot. What makes you assume I'm here in a professional capacity? You're a criminal defense attorney, and we're at the crime scene. Call it an old man's intuition. Good detectives don't rely on intuition, though, do they? They rely on evidence. Oh, I don't rely on it. Don't worry. Just need to lean on it every now and then. When my back acts up. Oh, cool. Is she kind of digging him? Guy gets a few gray in his hair and thinks it's a free pass to act like a goddamn cowboy. Oh, I guess he does have a little gray in his hair. Well, I'm afraid your intuition's off this morning, detective. I'm here on a private matter. The deceased wasn't your client? No. That would have been a conflict of interest. Conflict of interest? You two knew each other? I see. In that case, allow me to give you my condolences. Thank you. But what I could really use is a bit of your help. You sure rally fast. Jess? Oh, right, We have clearance here, Detective, sir, from legal, which allows us... That's alright, little lady, I trust you. You can leave the paperwork holstered for now. Little lady? We aren't here for David, really. We won't be setting foot anywhere near your staging area, Detective. Alright, why not? How generous. I can afford to be generous today, because if I screw up... He gestures to the lobby, full of suits and cops. Plenty of folks at hand ready to pick up the slack. Well, if you're that at ease, perhaps I could take this time to ask you a few questions. You can always ask, Tiger. But I think you understand what I mean when I say whether or not I can answer is not entirely up to me. How you doing, buddy? You falling asleep over there? You're looking a bit haggard. How long have you been here anyway? Since this morning. But civilized folks don't call it morning when the streetlights are still on. Even if you got here around 1 or 2 in the morning. Still means homicide wasn't brought in until hours after Noble had the layout of the land. Sounds like you could use a break. I could use a retirement package. Hey, you're a lawyer, right? According to all my business cards. Do all the women in this game have personality? I think so. I think I said at the beginning, I don't think you heard it though, but I wanted to title this stream Evil Lesbian Phoenix Wright, but Twitch would not allow it. They would not allow me to use the word lesbian in the stream title. So this is... There are some guys in this, but I feel like the main attraction for this is like some of these really strong personality women. Like I really want to see Emma again. I actually really like, I kind of like Jess more than I thought. Like, she kind of has like a little bit more of like a, like I don't know if you know that much about like the Japanese subculture of like gyaru, gal subculture. It's like, it's a little bit more of like a feminine, lots of like makeup and stuff like that. I'm not usually super into it, but Jess kind of has gyaru vibes. But I don't know, it kind of works for her. Trying to make her voice a little more Valley girlish, I guess, than Morgan being a little bit more mature. Think I could sue for elder abuse? I say this. If my younger friends are mean to me, I say that they're abusing their elders. Not that kind of lawyer. Sorry. You would lose, though. I already regret asking. So, why have they got a homicide detective losing sleep over this anyway? Man is dead, and he wasn't killed by fire, a vehicle, organized criminals, or disinformation. As far as we know. So, at the moment, homicide's technically not the worst fit. But we're leading in name only. A high-profile death like this, everyone's got an eye on us. And a hand placed firmly on the back of our neck. I've been checking my phone, but the only thing in the news seems to agree on is that David passed away. Sorry, but if you're asking for details, no thank you. For not letting them make the blah, blah, blah. No, thank you for not letting them make this into a big parade. Yet. We do our best to respect the privacy of anyone involved in an ongoing investigation. Jess isn't even talking, but she's the one who's kind of wiggling around the most. He declined to say victim. Detective Dr. Asher was a close friend of mine for many years. Yeah, he trusted Morgan more than anyone. Can you tell me if he killed himself? What does he think? It looks like that's the case. I see. Thank you for telling me that. Oh, Dr. Ash. Yeah, you're welcome? Sorry. Another round of guarded words. David was an important man, and it's only been a few hours. But all this tiptoeing gives me the feeling that whatever happened to David wasn't cut and dry. You boys and Noble are getting along with each other? Sharing your toys? Some of the younger ones are bristling. But I always play well with others, counselor. How well do you know, how well do the Megs play with you? They give you full access to building security? This is the word that her auntie was saying. They've given us access, and they say it's full. Some big penumbra system, top of the line coverage, top to bottom of the building. Size of the data stream's torrential. It'll be a while before we can start making sense of it all. It's more conspiratorial man might think that a more conspiratorial man might think this was intentional. I'm trying to slow down a little. I'm getting a little tongue-tied. bury us in data and hope we're too swamped to find whatever they're trying to hide? Maybe. Wait, they gave you full access to the penumbra? But that means every android in the building is feeding you their spectrum. What the heck is a meg? Derogatory or hateful term for mega corporation. Oh, okay. For anyone who works for them. So it's basically the suits. Numerous unverified explanations for how the term originated. Natural evolution from the slang shark. Oh yeah, or like megalodon. Others claim Meg was really short for Megan, an archetypal individual that defended the contributions that corporations have made to society. Prior to having to read anti-industrial sentiment on the net, use our auto-censor tools. Replace harmful words like Meg with family-friendly alternatives like job creator or patriot. Noble Electronics. Ooh. Stock is down. Noble secured a third of the automated dependent industry. Recent foray into biomechanical androids was initially met with skepticism when pre-orders lagged behind previous year's numbers. But Animate 16 is projected to reap record profits for Noble over the next 8 quarters. Okay. Who the heck is Masters? Jessica Starling. Oh, she doesn't like machismo. Huh. Executive assistant. Oh, Victoria Masters is my aunt? Lawyer to the rich and famous, semi-retired. Handsome men and pretty women and expensive liquor. Jewelry 24 karat. Age difficult to verify. I think it's Kasem. I think that's how it's pronounced. Let's see. Homicide detective first class. Good at coming up with nicknames. Oh. I guess by nicknames maybe they mean like sweetheart? Although he hasn't really given us a cool nickname yet. Just calls us counselor. But that means every android in the building is feeding you their spectrum. You know your stuff. Penumbra pulls data from any androids connected to the building's net. But that's not much help since there weren't any androids in the penthouse. Right. You know, I've heard some rumors and never put much stock in them, but it's true? Asher really never owned a single android? That does seem interesting. Like, I guess I have known some types of people who are like, you know, so into like tech or computers or something like that, that they're actually a little bit paranoid of like their own technology, their own digital footprint. Never. Well, suppose I might do the same if I was a genius who programmed them all. Every time they open their mouths and just be his own lip surface refracted 1,000 times over, echoing back at him behind a mask he carved. So that means all you'll have to investigate with are the penthouse's security cameras. Yeah, but that should be more than enough to wrap a case like this. Why did the music cut out? Or more importantly, why didn't it come back in? Alright, well there it is. In a good way, I mean. We're very much on top of this, ladies. David was one of the biggest names in tech. He was the face of Noble Electronics. One could argue androids are only as common as they are today because of his contributions to the field. Some people felt that way, sure. So, do you think anyone would want to hurt him because of that? Remind me, which of us is the detective again? You really won't let me pick your brain? You already know the answer. Yes, ads are controversial, androids especially. We at Noble are aware our products are sometimes the subject of heated debates, but no need to quote the handbook at us, miss. Truth be told, I never really understood the hate. It's not that complicated, is it? How many people have lost a job to an ad at least once in their career? Every last one of them lost their job because their bosses, their flesh and blood bosses, fired them. Ads are just a symptom. Scratch that, ads are just a product. Getting mad at them is pointless. And vandalizing them is less than pointless, because unlike us, they're all insured. And besides, Android production has surged over the last decade to become one of the nation's biggest exports. True, nice to have at least one thing we make in this country. That's right. Noble only outsources the production of a small handful of internal components. Interesting. I forget if this is fictional US. Interesting that they have such so much production of their own androids, though. Every other part of the manufacturing process is probably done right here at home. I somehow doubt everyone considers the specifics of Noble's supply chain to be a point of national pride. But you don't need a political science degree to see how much the state values Noble's contributions to the national economy. Alright now, listen. I don't mind being helpful, and I am trying to be sensitive here. But we really do have a lot on our hands at this moment. So I'm going to have to ask you to be discreet and ideally fast. Well, our business is just in the basement. David's basement. But the penthouse is on the top floor, the roof, so its basement would be second to last floor, if you want to be technical, detective. The point is, we don't need to go into the kitchen or in the parlor. We'll go straight to his workshop and then head downstairs. Kitchen and the parlor. I understand. But all the same, I'd like to escort you two ladies there myself. Wow, an escort. Like royalty. Isn't he a gentleman? Huh? Oh, yeah, he's... Lead the way, detective. I thought she kind of was into him, but now I kind of wonder if she doesn't like him. But she didn't like machismo. And I can't tell if I would call his machismo. It's more like he just has a lot... You know, he's an authority figure and he knows it. True to his word, London ushered us past tattering suits, humming drones, through checkpoints, and into the elevator. As it climbed into the sky, we got a good look at the growing throng of people gathered outside. And its shifting makeup. Seems like it's mostly protesters now, or worse, brand loyalists. Idiots led around by the nose, their whole life following the musk of whatever trend is laid out before them each morning. Today's trail having led them here, for half reasons they couldn't even put into words, even if their lives depended on it. They're like insects. And they look like them from up here. They're probably already preparing to spin the misunderstood genius of Dr. David Asher, a video essay in 5 parts. Why the companies insisted on cultivating such a following for him, I've never understood. They could have easily pinned his achievements on someone more marketable. Some random photogenic employee or a fashion model with glasses. David wouldn't have minded. He never wanted the attention, the chaos. Really? I thought he was kind of a fashionable looking guy. David. Got his custom glasses, his expensive shampoo. He's got his chains and his ring. Maybe it's as simple as bad luck. He just happened to have the right look for the part. A man buried in his work, with his eyes fixed ahead. The way she talks about it makes me wonder, what if he actually isn't responsible for the Turing solution? Penthouse. This is his laboratory? His shop, he called it. How down to earth. It's messy here. David was always disorganized. Why a programmer needed to make such a mess just to run tests on computers, I'll never... But sloppy as he could be, he didn't like it when other people saw it, if he was leaving things like this. But he must not have entertained any guests down here in some time. Thanks for all your help, Detective London. Don't mention it. Get out of here, guy. What? You want me to step out? We won't take long. Not lacking on boldness, are you? Look, I have to take a phone call. We'll be in and out as soon as possible. Promise. And whatever Dr. Ash wanted set aside for his foundation, we'll be sure to flag it. Right. At least she's already wearing gloves. If you find a dead body, you'll be the first to call. Morgan, what was that stuff about his foundation? Dr. Ash's charity has always been managed by an outside group. You haven't spent a lot of time around crime scenes, have you? Actually, this is my first. Generally speaking, it's not really common to retrieve things from the premises while the cops are still searching them, yeah. I mean, this is kind of separate from the main investigation, but still connected. Oh. Oh! Look, if David had something to give me, we can go get it. We just can't make a ton of noise about it, understand? Of course. Great. After you. Right. Quiet as a church house. I was gonna say quiet as a church mouse, but... Church mouse in the church house. Caught myself. I'm okay, I'm okay. Now it doesn't seem like the time to correct her. Ugh. My nose is getting like all itchy. Been a lot of pollen in the air recently. David's shop was a mess, but the mess felt familiar. It was very David. Coming down here, I barely recognized the place. For starters, there's a goddamn gym. David hated exercise. Always claimed he didn't have time for it. Even when I got him that treadmill and the subscription for the personal coaching program with the scheduling subroutine, said he couldn't find the time. And then even when I explained to him that the program accounted for that and adapted to his schedule, he still... Morgan? What's up? Hmm? You're smiling. What's so funny? Nothing. I'm just surprised to see the place renovated. Yeah, he actually had me on mail tag with a couple contractors a while back. Never thought I'd have to learn so much about concrete and wiring and marble. Do you know marble needs to be treated or else indoor air will start to make it, will start to corrode it? I didn't know that. Is it true? Wait, is it not? But her guy told me that without an epoxy finish, the entire bar table could... Is that the vault over there? Oh, yeah. Nervous? Oh, a little, I guess. But the inhaler helps, mostly so. Aren't you going to open it? Open it? Don't you know the combination? No, I do not know the combination to David's basement vault. Oh, yeah, that's what I thought. She doesn't know. Jess doesn't know. Oh. Oh no. How could I have... He didn't tell you? Or give you a code? Or... He gave me the code to get into the building. And the parking garage. But not the code to whatever this is. Oh, Oh, that's her inhaler. That's what it is. I guess I can kind of see it. Okay. You know, there were a lot of scattered papers back in his shop. He could have left you a note on one of them. Yes, he could have. He would have. In fact, I think he probably did. You just stay right there, Morgan. I'll have this settled in just a sec. Sounds good. Right then. Oh, was she faking her out? Does she actually know it? Well, it's definitely locked. Oh no. She's just banging on it. Looks like it's a Tethys Basics Sturdy Cure Anti-Hack Anti-Digital High-Rated Code Panel. Nothing basic about it. But at least I can see the password's limited to 6 characters. Only 1 million possible combinations. Maybe I'll get lucky. Screw it. Tethys is the largest online shopping and consumer shipping corporation on Earth and a dominant economic force that frequently courts controversy by skirting monopoly and labor laws in every nation in which it operates. Huh. And yes, we really do have everything for sale, so ditch this lame-o search engine, head over to our online store to find what you're really looking for. Hot stuff. Wink. Not interested in sponsored search results? Get premium. Oh my god, imagine if they make like a premium Google search engine. What a nightmare. Too bad Google's already ruined. It's gotta be 6 letters, huh? No, that's 7. What else do we know about him? He likes Yamma glasses. Actually, you know what? Have I saved in a while? Sure, let's override. Let's try to get lucky. Slim chance, but what the hell? Why shouldn't I give it a shot? I feel like if anybody could, Morgan's in a good position to guess. What was his birthday? What was my birthday? 12/26. And then the year, I guess? 10/28. Well, do we even know the year? Nothing. Don't really want to dwell on why I thought that would work. Forget it. Different terminal over here. Cotter security systems. According to the label, maybe it controls the whole room? Damn, password protected too. Code's 64 digits long? What's the point of a camera system that's harder to crack than your literal vault, you egg-headed... Okay, yeah, programmer probably would care much more about his IoT than whatever he can fit into a safety deposit box. Internet of Things. Network data sharing that goes on between all the countless electronics that we monitor ourselves with. Phones, computers, securities. All comprise small but vital parts of this network. Without IoT's ability to collect, process, and share information, massive opportunity costs build up as individuals, governments, and private businesses miss out on the valuable insight that data has to offer. Crumbs. Small packets of data containing our unique identifying information. Throughout your day, as your own IoT devices say hi to other devices, they'll leave behind crumbs as parting gifts. Yeah. I guess it's a 6-digit vault or nothing. But I'm a lawyer, not a lockpick. And whatever other felonies I get up to in my private time, I've never pulled off a bank heist before. Only tool I've got here is my head. So what do I know? I know whatever David put in his safe, he wanted it kept secure. And I also know he wanted me to have it. So maybe he thought ahead. Maybe he guarded it in such a way that I would be the only one who could get to it. My birthday then? David liked games. He really liked beating me. So if he left one last puzzle for me, I don't mind going another round. Cool. What's up with this gym stuff? Taking a closer look, this is pretty serious looking set of resistance training equipment. These weights, they're all set near the max. If Noble hadn't appointed him a nutritionist specialist, a nutritionist along with a stylist, David would be downright scrawny. No way he was putting up these numbers. In which case, the digits on weights could be a clue. Too many, and I can't guess the order. So what the hell, Asher? Did you just set all these weights to the max because it looked more neat? This flooring's a new addition. It looks rough to sandpaper. Or it looks rough like sandpaper, but it's bouncy, rubberized. Feels like something you drag your feet on at the gym or factory floor. It's more high performance than high class. Expensive, but not in the way you'd expect for a penthouse. Scratch that. It's actually cracked here. Rubber doesn't break, it bends. That's its thing. Oh, what is this light here? As someone who must have cheaped out during the installation, left a defect in it. That, or David left a jackhammer on overnight. We got the weights, we got that. And there's a car over here. Very big painting. It's impressionist? No, cubist. Incorrect. Yeah, cubicle. That sounds right. It is not. Whatever its style, I do remember David liked this painting. There was a date on it. Could be a 6-digit password, but I don't see one anywhere. Maybe saying your work was considered gauche even among cubicleists? Cubicleist sounds like what they would call an office worker who paints. Wine collection still towering over the room. Don't know why he'd buy so many bottles. He didn't even particularly like the stuff. Maybe just to fill out these shelves. But not all the bottles are untouched. Some of them don't have dust on them at all. There's a mechanism for retrieving bottles off the rack. Latest bottle chosen was Murdu Camp 81. Could be significant. Except vintages only list the year they were bottled, not the month or day. Not enough digits for the code. Okay. I feel like there's gotta be one more thing. Oh, there it is. Oh. Spare liquor cabinet. Damn, there's a lot of good stuff here. And a lot of bottom shelf swill. This kind of bargain bid vodka and nose burner whiskey that only an underground programmer could love. Nostalgia sweet like that, overpowering. 1 part per million can cover up even the cheapest aftertaste. Alright, search the whole room. Time to make or break. Am I actually supposed to do something? Oh? Am I supposed to type? Oh, crap. I am supposed to type something. I wish I had paid attention to what those were. I don't have access to my thing. Oh. Shoot. I need to exit. No dice. Okay. No, I need to... I need to see the thing. How do I exit out? Hold on. Let me try this. There we go. Big blue painting. This is what I wanted to look at. Oil on canvas painted by the mid-21st century neo-abstract expressionist Mads Herrstorp. 11/25/58. Well, Krulheim Center de Art Moderne. It was displayed for 9 months or entered the premises on this date. Use a hunting knife to cut a singular massive canvas into 3 separate pieces. When asked for comment, Haystorp replied, "My works are not complete until they have been signed." 11/25/58. Alright, let's try that. Date the painting was signed. Yeah, I guess cutting up is signing it in his case. Password that is and isn't left in plain sight. Nice one. Hey Morgan, Oh? How'd you get it open? That's... What is this? Turn back around just in time to see a door finish swinging open with mechanical grace revealing... a girl. Oh yeah, I've seen her in like some of the trailer stuff. More like an android? With a barcode emblazoned across her temple. Required by law to be plainly visible. It's an android. Clearly marked as such. And yet, even standing this close, I could swear it's... snoring? I step forward and place the back of my wrist on the android's brow. Warm. Is it like a fully warm android? It must be a prototype for Animate 16. Or maybe a prototype for the 17 or 18? Biomechanical android with real human flesh. Sorry, biomechanical yes, but it's organic flesh, not human. They're grown from lax Gemini cultures, but the... Sorry if I misspoke. Oh, right. Understandable since... You seem surprised, Jess. Hasn't Noble been working on worm androids like this one for a few years? worm androids like this one? I mean, yes. We have sorry, it's just this particular model's very, it's very cutting edge. Bleeding edge, judging by the flesh in those cheeks. I think it's safe to say we found what we're looking for. I think so too. That presents a problem then. Yeah, how are we gonna get this out past London? Oh, do you not approve? I've got nothing against androids. My concern is a bit more immediate and, well, practical. Practical? I don't know how to turn it on. Oh, there's that too. Do you see a switch or something? Do you? Can we, turn it around, or... I poked the android's ribs. A little less give than I expected, given its frame, but the rigidity's remarkably lifelike. Place my hand on the shoulder and give it a shake. Doesn't budge. This thing has weight, this thing has to weigh more than... Right. Androids mostly transport themselves, so people are always surprised to find out they're a bit heavier than they look. A bit? I'm surprised the whole room isn't slanted. There's no way in hell we're moving this thing without waking it up. Crap. First the vault, now this. I was able to guess the combination just by poking around. Compared to that, finding this hunk of junk's power switch should be child's play. And I think I know where to start. Jess, I'm gonna step back into the lab for a moment, alright? Huh? Sure, there's gotta be a manual around here. Good idea. Might be some kind of prototype, but it's still got a barcode. Maybe you can scan its GIN number and find something in the company files? Oh yeah, of course. All generic ID numbers should be paired with industry standard files on maintenance, tracking, power requirements. Somehow we doubt the enigmatic android taking a catnap in a sarcophagus in David Asher's basement will have a user manual. But can't hurt for her to try, and... I'm okay, broke a heel, but I'm okay. I carry glue. I'd rather search the lab by myself. That's a little klutzy, that's like the second time. Now then, if I were David, and I want to make sure that only one person would be able to walk out of here with that android. Jin. It's just the robo bin number. Lessening the gap between man and machine led governments to pass laws and mandating that all ads clearly identified themselves. Going to sleep? That's fair. I think it'll be a short stream for me tonight, too. Have a good night. Manufacturers responded by stamping the GIN number onto android bodies, most commonly on the cheek, collarbone, back of the hand, wrist. But this quickly incurred backlash. Concerns about automated dependence impersonating humans have dropped precipitously since then. Okay. And the Jinn has instead taken on a life as a cultural icon, as powerful and easily recognizable as any corporation's logo. Fake Jinns, or fins, are one of the most commonly requested tattoos. The vast majority of reputable parlors will draw a line through the barcode once finished to avoid breaking identity law. Though there are still some clients who care little about the consequences. MMA fighter Sam Lee Paka infamously sports a Jinn tattoo across his right knuckles and makes a show of signing a check to pay the fine for displaying a false Jinn on an international broadcast every time he enters the ring. Got that robot kayfabe. Worm. Widely used term to describe androids that use organic flesh in some capacity. While the concept has been experimented with in the robotics industry for decades, Noble Electronics, a recent foray into warm manufacturing with their Animate 16 model, represents a huge leap forward, with many analysts agree it is a signal of widespread adoption to come. Okay. Anything else useful? Understood. Warm androids will require oxygen, water, periodic organic substance, in addition to wireless charging. Then what's the point? Need to refill? Warm android some events available in Noble Shop. They shut down. If this happens, you can regain access to your warm android once your order of supplements has been confirmed as paid. Oh, interesting. Alright, let's find power switch. Oh. Tanks for something. How should I know? No labels on anything, typical for a genius. But a nightmare for anyone trying to pick up after him. A lot more hard science than expected in here. Centrifuges, glass, microscopes. Don't programmers do all their work with a keyboard? Well, it sounds like they had to grow. They had to do some actual cell culture to get the warm android stuff working. Fairly normal computer. If I'm lucky, the security will be fairly normal as well. Boot up complete. Username. Vocal command. David Asher? Morgan? Guest? Thank you for logging in as a guest. Didn't recognize my voice. I could probably rule out the vocal command being the key to waking the android. You have a question? More than one. For now, though, what should I search for on his computer? Me! Search files on Morgan. 23 results on the local drive. I can work with that. Mostly phone books, social data, but I don't recognize his file type. Some kind of personnel format? Date of birth, education, blood type, height, weight? Alright, buddy, that's a little invasive, don't you think? That's what I think too. DNA and fingerprints? How do you have that, David? My DNA isn't in any database. I've made sure of that. So he couldn't have bought this anywhere. He must have collected himself from a wine glass. Or the like. It would have been easy to do. But why do it? Can my DNA wake up the robot? Diagrams of human anatomy. Hands are highlighted. Most developed part of the human body, good for making stone axes and sending email. Look at that beautiful neuron. Robots and frames can do just fine with claws or 3-digit imitations. But androids are expected to look like people, and move like them too. Getting the hands right must be a big priority for Noble. The tree-like shape on the right is a neuron. Those branches receive input of varying weight, and then if the sum is greater than a certain threshold, the neuron fires, a 0 becomes a 1, and all the other zeros around it take that into consideration. Am I activating the robot with my touch? Touching the hand? DNA? Is it sensing my body weight? What if I've gained weight or lost weight? Repeat that a couple billion times a second and you've got the human brain, a computer powerful enough to simulate all of reality. That's the analogy I read in a magazine anyway. I haven't seen one since college. Must be a 3D printer. Oh. Or of some sort. Feels expensive enough to make other printers look like soda fountains by comparison. Maybe it's an Android flesh printer. Better not mess with any of the settings. Alright, getting a clear picture. Oh, no, I need to look at the phone. Ugh. Oh, I guess I didn't get any highlighted terms this time. Alright, I'll just have to manage. Still a piece of machinery. If it won't turn on, I can always start hitting it. Time to get my chi chobits. Morgan, there you are. I've looked in every registry I could find and every database I could get into, but I don't think this android's in the system. It was a long shot. Don't beat yourself up over it. Yeah, but an android without proper identification is... Only buying or selling an android without proper identification that's illegal. Doesn't seem like he ordered this online. I guess you're right? Yeah, I guess if he made it and it's a gift, it's fine. We'll have it registered soon enough anyway. I think I figured out what we need to do here. Oh? If David really wanted me to have this, he should have left some way for me to turn it on. So what are you thinking? David had my fingerprints and my DNA on file. By requiring both, he could be reasonably sure that no one was powering up this android without my approval. You've done a swab before, haven't you? Every month for the company. Apparently they're building a database on employee epigenetics, cross-reference with... Why would you need to do one every month? Just do one. Oh, so you're gonna... My DNA and my fingerprint make the key. Now where to find the lock? The hand. Mouth, ellipse, chest, the hand. There was that diagram back in his workshop. Is it meant to be a literal handshake verification? Thought that would work. Me too. Alright. Stick it up the nose. Okay. Maybe there's someone with a lot of surface area? Chest? I'm not doing that. These are both silly. Fingers up the nose. Nose? Guess it's not impossible. Morgan? Are you not gonna stick your thumb up its nose? No. If it takes something that silly to boot it up, I don't even want it anymore. Lips are one of the most sensitive parts of the body. Not the worst place to make a scan, even if it's gross placing my fingers there. Oh, that's still not doing it, huh? Come on, do I really need to push my fingers deeper? Jingle the key? Oh man, you went right in there. Are you touching the tongue? It's blinking at me. Good morning. Long beat. Good morning to you. I was gonna say I did kind of think that hand would do it first, but you know, I'm not. I am still glad that I got to try out the nostrils one. Oh, cute. Hello. I've never seen you two before. Having game time with Kitty? That sounds nice. Guess we should introduce ourselves then? Hi? This is Jessica Starling. She works for Dr. Asher. I'm Morgan, a friend of his. Got all that? I understand. She's Jessica Starling and you are Morgan? Last name? Unknown? No, Morgan is my last name. Father told me about you. Oh yeah, I forgot. Did we know her first name? I feel like... Aw, he did? Wait. But father? David. You had it call you Daddy? I'm referring to Dr. David Asher. Are you confused? In fairness, it's different saying daddy than father. That's not the word I'd use. I'll throw a bone beyond the grave for the good doctor and just move along with this. Did David say he was giving you to me? Transferring ownership? Ownership? That is correct. What else did? Mostly correct. Right. What did he tell you? Many things. Can you specify? I thought conversation was the first thing David figured out how to program. Did Dr. Asher tell you anything that he wanted you to convey to Morgan? A message you were supposed to pass on? Yes. Jess, I think it's trying to... Oh, okay, sure. I'll give you I'll give you some privacy, Morgan. I've actually gotten about 14 messages in the last 2 minutes, so... I'll just head back up to the lab and take some calls, okay? Thanks, Jess. Thanks, Jess. You're welcome. Just the two of us now. So what do I call you? My name is Sarah. Nice to meet you, Morgan. Trust me, the pleasure's all mine. So what's the message? Father told me I'd be living with you from now on. He told me that you would look after me. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Should it? Model this lifelike with warmth and breath and something close to blood in its veins. Just what are you anyway? Forgot my name already? It's Sarah. What were you built for? You're warm, obviously. You're not one of those physical therapy models, are you? That would be highly illegal. I haven't completed 500 hours of study at the state-approved massage therapy school. I haven't even completed 1 hour. What purpose did Dr. Asher design you for? I don't know the answer to that question. You don't know why he built you? No? Should I? How can you not? Do you? Would I be asking you if I did? I meant, do you know why you were created? Why you were born? Why? Why me? Why would you... Why are you doing this? You're a freak. A monster. What the hell's wrong with you? Please, don't kill me. Please, why? Why? Why was a monster like you even born? Guess I walked into that one. I was starting to wonder if you even had the Turing solution. Oh yeah, we haven't really... No, don't say that. Don't say an accident. I mean, I guess it depends. I was gonna say, like, the why are you even born is... I guess there's a couple ways to read into that. From a more... you know, why did God create man kind of question? Versus why'd your parents hook up? Wasn't planned? I mean, I don't know. I never really thought about it too much. But then again, I'm child number 2, so I sort of assumed that my parents already kind of knew what they were doing. Oh yeah. You know, it's fine. Things work out eventually. Well, I mean, I guess they don't always work out, but You know, I kind of get it though. I was a little angsty sometimes when I was younger about like, oh, hmm, never mind. Never mind. Anyways, back to game. Well, you seem a little smug about being an accident, so I'll assume that you're fine with it. I'll assume you aren't too broken up about it. Let's see. Dr. David's postgraduate theses on intelligent programmatic linguistic waiting. True to its name, David Asher's base code has yet to fail any Turing test, a test designed to determine if given answers come from a human or machine applied to with a success rate below 99.97%. A number of think tanks, charities, and corporations hold bounties for designing new Turing tests for the sole purpose of running them against David Asher's work, though none have announced the awarding of any prize money thus far. Alright. Father's Framework for Programming Linguistics in Artificial Systems. In the body of work for which he first gained international recognition. Yeah, an international. Do you have an answer to my question? Why you were created? Why you exist? Occam's razor. I'm here because my parents wanted me. I see. Then I'll give you a similar answer. I was created because Father wanted to make me. Can't argue with that logic, can I? Can't argue with that logic. Father did say you're a lawyer. That's me. You're a lawyer and I defeated you with logic. World-class, high-power attorney, the best defense money can buy. So do you catch criminals? That's what cops do. Do you litigate criminals? That's what prosecutors do. Then you fight for the underrepresented? Expose injustice? Sue corrupt corporations and officials? I don't think anyone does that anymore. Then what do you do? I'm a criminal defense attorney. A defender of the innocent and powerless. Uh-huh. Do you also... Now that you know all about me, what can you tell me about yourself? I've never had to do that before. First time for everything. How old are you? I'm not sure I can give you a satisfactory answer. Oh for 2 on answering simple questions. What's the date on your earliest memory? 2 years ago. And where were you constructed or assembled or whatever? What facility? I was not constructed at any facility. Father created me here. By himself. You're saying if I took you apart, it wouldn't be able to find any markers, any manufacturers, any IDs, any designer? You want to take me apart? David was a programmer, not an engineer. How could he build a custom android from scratch in the comfort of his own home? He 3D printed her. He couldn't have. He must have had help. Probably a whole department's worth. If I ask around, there's gotta be someone in the company who can ID this thing. Help me figure out what's so important about it. You don't look like any android I've ever seen. What are you made of? This body is comprised of organic tissues integrated directly into cybernetic systems. They require organic nourishment, including water, carbohydrates, and salt. Wait, worm androids have to eat and drink? That can't be worth all that trouble. My cybernetic systems operate largely as analogs to their equivalents in the human body. I have a respiratory system for oxygen exchange, a centrally located pump that circulates oxygen. You've got a heart? How quaint. Where does all that extra weight come from? Pardon? I tried moving you earlier and I felt like I was pulling against a truck. My skeleton is a combination of medical-grade plastics and military-grade titanium carbide alloy. That sure took the wind out of her sails. My muscles are made of adaptive rare earth alloy, nanoweave fiber with shock absorption and kinetic chain potential rated past... Wait, did you say military grade? I have a grip strength above 1,000 kilograms. I can run at sustained speeds over 60 kilometers per hour. I can jump 6 meters vertically. I can lift approximately... Not sure what kind of grip strength most androids are walking around with, but I've never seen any of them move the way it's talking about. Even just standing there seems to be poised. Controlled, spring tight, strength and flexibility like a ballerina or a gymnast. Strong enough to flip over a tank, lifelike enough to avoid detection. Is this going to be their military prototype? As long as it never stepped on a scale, it'd make for the perfect infiltration unit. Perfect weapon if you could keep its development a secret. Did David really put something that heavy on my plate? Dismantling a military prototype in secret? Are you deep in thought? But a military infiltration android would look more crew-cut and forgettable. Did David really devote personal time and effort just to make another weapon for the military? I have other features I could tell you about, if you like. If I shot you, would you die? It would be very painful, and it would discharge fluid, but conventional weapons would not prove particularly effective. And that settles it. This thing's a weapon. Sure as I... Would you like to know about my hair? Hair? I'm impressed you noticed. Each fiber contains miniaturized solar cell lattice technology, allowing me to remain charged throughout the day. Must come in handy? I haven't actually had the chance to use it yet. Yeah, she's indoors. This room has ambient wireless charging functionality. Oh, wireless charging, that makes sense. And I haven't gone outside much. Alright, maybe it's not a weapon. You're just a pincushion, aren't you? I'm not familiar with the term. Searching. Pincushion. Jargon. Design. Refers to prototypes filled with experimental technologies to check for compatibility issues. Got an idea, not sure what to do with it? Stick it in the pincushion. It's as good an explanation as any for what I'm staring at. A mishmash of state-of-the-art military features spliced with odd new technologies and seemingly pointless additions. The end result being a singular, unsellable android that wasn't particularly good at anything and would break down after only a few years. Pincushions are a small but valid part of the field of android manufacturing. They're valuable to collectors who see them as time capsules filled with their designers' most outlandish ideas and least reproducible results. But even the most nonsensical pincushions are built via committee over years with numerous engineers and programmers adding in their pet functions. The android before me claims to have been built by one man. A man who's now... Seems we got off track there, Sarah. Was there anything else David told you to relay to me? Besides that you were to look after me? He also told me you were reliable, that I should trust you. He said I was to listen to you and obey your instructions. Finally, some good news. As you say, Adonai. What's that? That word you called me, what was it? Adonai, from classical Hebrew. Translated literally, it means my lord. Do you prefer that I call you master? No. Very good, Adonai. Why did David use Hebrew, though? Abrahamic myth tells of servants constructed out of earth and clay, designed to resemble and obey their masters. The golem? Golems, yeah. Father must have found the comparison appropriate. Amusing. More likely it's just a joke. Father would not make light of such a thing. Sure he would. Perhaps we should ask him to clarify his reasoning for himself. Where is Father, by the way? Is he upstairs? She doesn't know. When was the last time you were active? 38 hours ago. Thursday night, then? Correct. Right. David Asher is dead. He died last night. Understand? How? May I see him? See him? No, I won't be able to see him. Funeral's probably not for a few days. Father was not... he was not sick. I don't feel like doing the whole song and dance with 2 robots in one day. That's very charming, but let's go to commands only. What? What happened? Did he have an accident? Why is it still doing the theatrics? Does it not recognize my authority yet? Police have determined that he committed suicide. For the time being, we ought to focus on getting you properly registered. Maybe then you'll take commands the first time I say them, and not... The police are wrong. Excuse me? They're wrong. Father did not commit suicide. He would never do such a thing. Father had told me, look, Sarah. Sorry? You're sorry? Father said you were his friend. How are you so calm? I've been around death a lot. So don't try to lecture me about grief, spearmint. My name is Sarah. You will use it because Father, Dr. David Asher, the greatest programmer in the world, gave it to me. And he did not kill himself. Let's say you're right, and David didn't commit suicide. If that's the case, the police will realize that soon enough. The police have already made their determination. That's what you just said. Father said you were a lawyer, that you were capable and reliable, and a friend. You should be looking into his death. That's... Is that an order? Of course not. It is a request, Adonai. A request that I'll have to refuse. The police have their job and I have mine. If I stick my nose into their investigation any further, they'll come down on me hard. Cops don't like lawyers on principle. But what they really hate are people who tell them how to do their job. Let's go. We need to... Father asked you to look after me. Yeah, he did. He also said you should obey me, but you don't seem quite as fixated on that part. And he said something else. He said you owed him a favor. One favor. The thin ice starts here, Spearmint. That was between him and me. Father's gone, so now it's between you and I. And I'm calling in the favor now. What? You don't have to take care of me anymore. Consider that request a null and void. You can sell me to some collector, or you can donate me to a university. It doesn't matter. In exchange, you will prove Father didn't kill himself. You will make sure whoever hurt him is held accountable. Why are you laughing? You and me? Not you and I. You and me. David would roll over in his grave if he knew you'd gotten that wrong. It was not my intention to amuse or rotate. No, that's for damn sure. Fine, I'll take that deal, Sarah. You mean you'll prove Father did not... I mean, I'll look into it. I'm a lawyer. I don't prove anything. I just disprove what I can. Then, where do we start? We? I didn't realize you had a law degree. I do not have a law degree, but I'm a fast learner. This isn't a job interview. And I'm far from useless. I can... The ad did raise at least one good question. Where do I start? Alright, so I take it from all episodes she's gonna be my partner? I'm a defense attorney, not a police... Well, maybe she's only gonna be for this episode. Maybe we'll get rid of her. Or maybe she'll be my assistant going forward. I'm a defense attorney, not a police detective. David was my friend, not my client. Yeah, I wish I remember what they said at the very beginning of this episode. But I'm assuming he helped her cover something. Won't be able to poke around at all unless... And I'm also capable of... Can you tell a lie? I am capable of making statements that are false. Guess that'll have to do. Are you going to ask me to lie? Yes. To the police, in fact. Lying to the police is a felony. Androids don't commit felonies. They make errors. I see. What kind of error did you have in mind, Adonai? Are you sure about this? Yeah, how are we gonna get her out? That's my question. How are we gonna get her out of that building? Because if they know she's an android, surely they'll want to interrogate her. You have questions too, don't you? Right now, I'm just a little better equipped to get answers than you are. Okay, go for it. I'll make sure they're watching. Is the air quality at Noble headquarters kept up to state standards? Huh? All these Noble employees seem to have asthma. Oh, it's not just Jess? Was Father also working under such poor conditions? They don't have asthma. Then why are they carrying inhalers? Oh, is it like drugs? Yes, ma'am. She's right over there. Oh, here's Emma. First, let's see. What's with the inhaler? Legalized in 2083. Stimulant sold under name Hydroxone. Widely used drugs in the corporate world. Class 2 stimulant. Employees of any corporation in good standing with the Bureau of Narcotics oversight can have access to Hydroxone without a prescription. As long as their HR representative feels it would be beneficial to their work. Workplace Adroxone. Dispensed through biomonitor enhanced inhalers. Automatically detect overdoses and keep track of possible habit formation. Automatic safety levels may be adjusted at supervisor's discretion. Unsubstantiated claims was Adroxone was first invented as a purely recreational drug by the notoriously violent Skullhead Mafia. Industrial hydrogen fuel accident resulted in the deaths of all 391 Skullhead members. Huh. Suspicious. Well, look who it is, Emma. Oh, it's you. Oh, and Reyes is here too. I don't care as much about her. Did I mess up? On the contrary. Eyes wide, she's a DA. Quiet. She succeeded spectacularly in getting Noble's ears perked up. Emma Rockford. Didn't think I'd run into you here. Yeah, I didn't think I'd be here either. But the powers that be think my presence sends a strong message to the Megs, so... No, wait, what are you doing here? A few minutes later. I see. I'm sorry for your loss. Thanks for saying that. And thank you, Detective Reyes, for your many kind words. Can't be as talkative as you. Normally, quoting poetry would feel pretentious, but you were so genuine in your reading. Bite me. I don't know that there's need for all that. Very mature, detective. Did you come up with that yourself? Oh, no. That's Kaguya's signature pose. Like the pop star? I don't know what you're talking about. I guess she is young. You could admit it if you do. There's nothing to admit, because I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who that is. Wait, now you're saying you don't know who Kaguya is? She's the most famous... Yeah, well, I just don't know who that is, so... Ma'am? Huh? Weren't you about to say something? Rhea, she likes Kaguya? Huh. She doesn't like audiobooks, huh? Third class. True crime, bodice strippers. Best at getting the staff's attention. Kaguya. Stage name of a singer-songwriter known for her powerful voice, her stage persona, intricately crafted lore. After releasing a blitz of chart-topping singles, a quadruple platinum album, and a bevy of cultural reset music videos, in just the last 3 years, she's come to be considered the leading living figure in the pop music and popular culture realm. Kaguya's official age is listed as 1,086 years old. She released her first single, Orbit, which went on the peak #1 at the Blawboard Top 100. And Rubicon... Why is Rubicon in here? That's a real thing. Rubicon... Or no, wait, it's not... Is it Rubicon? No, it's Oricon. Is that what they're trying to spoof? I think they're trying to spoof Oricon. And Niate music video streaming tracker. What's Niate? Nico? Personal details on the pop star remain scarce, and protecting her anonymity has become a core part of her fan culture. when a retired facial analysis expert claimed that her stage makeup was formulated specifically to make her facial recognition on her impossible. A representative from her record company met with the press to clarify that she is simply a private person who wants her fans to enjoy the experience that is Kaguya's voice. I mean, it sounds kind of like I think this is kind of like Otto. I think Otto is very private and doesn't want like videos and stuff. Huh? Weren't you about to say something? Oh, well, I'm still surprised to see you here now, Morgan. Are you helping plan the services? Actually, the company will be planning Dr. Asher's funeral services. Wouldn't his family want to take care of that? No. 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 I see. Sorry. But if that's the case, why are you here, Morgan? Huh. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry to disrupt your morning. Hey, that's... You're here for the same reason as every other suit they've got crawling around. Interesting good or interesting meh? Sometimes it's a little funny. I feel like particularly for London, his art is a little weirder than the rest, but I really like their designs. Won't say? Can't tell if that means interesting meh. I really like their design sense though. Or like a thing that I noticed is like, you know, they have this kind of eyelash line where there's like the white kind of scleras is kind of shown. I see some VTuber models who use that sort of style. Personally, it's definitely not for me, but I think it kind of, I can sort of see how it fits with this style. Money. You're not wrong. There are a lot of annoying insects with annoying agendas scurrying around before my friend's body's even cold. But the honest truth is, I don't even know if David had a will. The company helped him manage his estate. Legal's probably already on it. Actually, judging by how much coffee that intern is carrying into the elevator, I'm certain they are. Right. So you're not here for the funeral or the reading of the will? Miss Starling asked me to come here, actually on a matter unrelated to David's passing. On an unrelated matter? That's convenient. Isn't it? But now that I'm here, it's come to my attention that the police have made a determination in the case of David's death. Where'd you hear that? Am I mistaken? No, you're correct. They concluded it was a suicide. Always counted her to be blunt. I was worried about that. Yeah, I'm sure you must be feeling... Because I'm going to have to contest that charge. What? The state has made a charge, and I'm arguing against it. What the hell are you talking about? The police believe David committed suicide. Suicide is a felony in this country, detective. I do always think that's a funny logic to have. I mean, I sort of get it. As a way, you know, they don't want people to commit suicide, so they make it a crime. But like, you know, if they do commit suicide, like, they're dead, so it's not like you can punish them. And if for some reason they can't commit suicide, you're just punishing a person who's already hurt emotionally and physically, so like, what's the point? It is technically a crime to commit suicide, yes, but we're not in the habit of bringing dead men to trial. Especially not for their own murder, Morgan. No, not the trial, of course, not... But there would be a preliminary hearing in a case like this. Technically, as a formality, assuming the courts aren't busy that day. Preliminary hearing. Judge or jury will evaluate whether there exists sufficient evidence to justify a trial. Between security cameras, personal devices, biomonitors, IoT crumbs, automated dependents, and mods. Extremely rare in modern times for the people's evidence of crime to be found lacking. Making preliminary hearings somewhat of a formality that is frequently sidestepped without a protest from the defense. Okay. I don't know what it is, but Morgan in particular, her design, not the art style, but her design kind of has like Limbus Company vibes to it. Like I could easily see her type of character appearing in that world. I'm afraid that on this occasion, I'm going to have to insist on formality. Yeah, well, you don't have much say in the matter, do you? With David gone, I have the only say, really. I am, after all, his criminal attorney. All that money and he needs his drinking buddy to be his attorney? Bullshit. I'm also skeptical, Morgan. It's a pretty serious conflict of interest to be your friend's defense attorney. You're absolutely right. It is a conflict of interest. And I would have said as much to him if I had the chance. What do you mean? I only found out that he wanted me to be his attorney today. After he died? How the hell did you miss that memo? Embarrassing, isn't it? But to be fair, it was hidden pretty well. Oh, we're just gonna tell them about it, the robot? Oh, I didn't know you had an android, Morgan. It's cute. Thanks, but it's actually David's. And it's technically my witness. Witness to what? "38 hours ago, David Asher communicated to me as a matter of record the following explicit legal intent. That in the case of any and all criminal charges brought against him by the state, his attorney would be Evangeline Morgan." Huh. Evangeline? Ugh. Wait, seriously? Your name's Evangeline? Did your parents name you after a Christmas carol? Should we all be curtsying? It's not that funny. No, of course not. Nothing to be embarrassed about, Evangeline. Or do your friends call you Angel? I hear Kaguya's on tour, Detective. Should I get you tickets? Or should I have your dad drive you like all the other 15-year-olds? Hey. Feels like we're getting off topic here. What were we just... I was telling you that David Asher wanted her to be his criminal defense attorney. Imagine my surprise. An android's recording of a verbal expression of intent isn't exactly ironclad, Morgan. That's fair. And if we're going before an upper-level court, I would expect that to be open to all kinds of scrutiny. But we're talking about the preliminary hearing. A formality, as you call it. If he asks for representation, he deserves representation. Doesn't matter whether he's dead or alive. Am I missing something? What difference does it make? Not even an adjutant would be obtuse enough to sentence a dead man. No, there won't be a sentence. But the adjutant will render a verdict. Is that how I say adjutant? The verdicts have consequences, even for the deceased. Is that what this is about? What's she getting at? If the court agrees this was a suicide, that verdict will retroactively affect evaluations on the individual's mental health. Like, whether he was in his right mind or not? You know anything about estate tax law, detective? No. But I'm sure you'll be happy to educate me. More than happy. An individual found by a court to have not been of sound mind can't very well give their consent to the lawyer drawing up their will. If his will is compromised, all of David's considerable assets would suddenly be thrown into legal limbo. In which case, the state would be legally obligated to come in and pick up the pieces. So this is about his money? I'm almost disappointed in you, Morgan. Well, when you take into consideration all the factors, it's actually more complicated than that. For example... Huh? Never mind. No, Starling, you should speak your mind. All I mean to say is that while Dr. Asher did have significant holdings in art, real estate, and intellectual property, he also, of course, owned a great deal of stock in numerous corporations, principally Noble. If he was ruled to not be of sound mind, and his shares were to end up acquired by the government, Noble would suffer a serious blow to its commercial image with its standing in the financial community. All of which is to say there's a great deal at stake here. Not the least of which, the reputation of a man whom I was proud to call a friend. You're not buying this, are you? In case you haven't noticed, the city is working closely with Noble on this. They're not going to let you bring them any unwanted attention. Starling did her part. They're watching, and they've stopped trying to hide it. From here on out, it's a gamble. Noble Electronics already has unwanted attention. Why are you raising your voice? If nothing changes by the end of the day tomorrow, the whole country is going to hear how David Asher committed suicide. By midnight, there will be questions about his competency, concerns about why the brain inside every single Noble ad was built by an apparently unstable man. The shareholders will have nothing to do all Sunday but brood over that sad thought and all its disturbing implications. By the time the markets reopen on Monday, I would expect a great deal of volatility. She's so silly. Is that so? I understand Noble's apprehension, of course, Emma. I just feel the right thing now, the fiscally conservative thing to do would be to not get in my way. So you've got your reasons and Noble's got a lot to think about. But why should the district attorney's office devote valuable time to playing out this game of yours? Because they're certain they'll win. That goes without saying. The court should be opening at 6 p.m. I didn't have anything planned. Then it's a date. Detective, would you get her clearance set up? Yes, ma'am. Updates every hour, yeah? You're out on a limb, Morgan. Better not linger. That's right, I forgot she had the iMod. Here. Clearance for all the relevant sites and police firewalls. You can interview and investigate with your authority as an officer of the court now. If you haven't already been doing that. Don't even think about being sloppy with discovery on this. Rockford might think you're funny, but I appreciate the warning, Detective Reyes. It's nice to know you care. I live to serve. And protect. Phew. Thanks for the assist, darling. Yeah, no sweat. Are all cops like that, or are they more like that Detective London gentleman? Most are like her, most are like him. Most are like her. They're mostly like that, yes. They're all that intense? Comes with being short. Most cops are short? Yes. Right. Well, see you at the courthouse tonight. If you need anything in the meantime, don't be afraid to ask. Good luck. Both of you. What do we do now? Well, I have a few options. I have access to the crime scene now, probably the best place to start. I'd like to head over to the company's building as well. To get me registered? Among other things. Either David killed himself or he didn't. I don't know why she wants to get her registered. I feel like we should keep her off the books for now. But if he did, it's almost certainly his asshole corporate overlords who are to blame. In which case, I'll want to take my sweet time raking them over the coals. So what are you doing? Nothing? What about Father? When can we see him? He'll be at the morgue by now. The medical examiner will speak to me now that I'm operating under the court's authority. But if I stop to flash paperwork at every nurse and security guard with nothing better to do than ask questions, I'll have to... What's that look for? You were Father's friend. Thank you again for reminding me. Aren't there people you'd like to speak with? Other friends who'd want to know? Bad news travels fast. I'm sure everyone in the country's heard about David by this point. But all that heartbreak shit did keep me pretty occupied these past few weeks. I was never one to pry. If there was someone who could tell me more about David's personal life over the last several months, it'd be worth the effort of finding them. You have someone in mind? Maybe someone he met more recently? He spoke about becoming close with someone this year. A musician. Huh. Now that you mention it. There was a something that David might have mentioned when we talked back in... I'll begin search. I've completed my search. I found nothing. Thanks for the old college try. Is that really the best you can do? Father was a private man, in person and online. With just a few letters and the fact that he was a musician, I'm afraid we don't have enough information to narrow down the results, Adonai. No, we have plenty of information. We just need the right person for the job. What kind of person is that? Indeed. Time date expunged. Detainment room. And who would you even have called? Oh, this kid. I don't know. But I still should have gotten my phone call. Instead, I got you. Who are you again? My latest guardian? New foster parent? Want me to call you mommy? I'm not really the motherly type. Hey yo, we might actually get along. So I've got good news and bad news. I'm not your guardian, I'm your lawyer. You begin being a lawyer because you're being charged with a felony. Fascist pigs, skipping school's a felony now. Hacking into a government database has been a felony for a very long time. What's his shirt say? Gucci? That wasn't me. They have your keystrokes, your IP address, your login times, and the playlist you were listening to. That was for a homework assignment. Here's what I don't get. You got in, copied the data, could have gone right out. State wouldn't even know you robbed until they saw their passwords show up on the black market. Clearance 2 weeks later. Is this kid Lobo? But you didn't get out. You stayed and made changes to their database. You robbed the bank, got clean money, then dragged a can of spray paint behind you all the way home. Why? Look, I didn't steal anything that wasn't already compromised. And the only data I added was my own. So if I had anything, they should be thanking me for correcting their mistakes. What, they get your birthday wrong? My name. Name changes are only 2 pages of paperwork. You just need to fill out the form. And get a signature from a parent or guardian. So, what's the good news then? The good news is that I'm your lawyer, not your guardian. What the hell? That doesn't count as good news. That's just the thing you said. Don't be so sure. A lawyer's a lot better than a guardian. How's that? Parents, guardians, foster whatevers, they're all supposed to take care of you because it's the right thing to do. Lawyer's someone who always does what's best for you, no matter what, because that's how they get paid. So, how good are you at your job? So that's how we met our kid. Hello, Monsieur. I don't know how to say that. It's pronounced I can't say it. I know how it's pronounced. Cur. Yeah. Archaic term for dog, abandoned, mutt, or stray. Did you mean... I can't say that. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know what the difference is. Queer. Monquer. I don't know. I give up. Never asked me to read French. And don't call me that. When I met Fran at that police station, I couldn't help but bet he landed the jackpot. Valuable asset with a skill set complementary to my own personal and private pursuits. Someone who, after seeing the sweetheart probation deal I managed to land for them, would be more than happy to help me with whatever I need, whenever I need it. So cold, Fran. Can't even get a good morning. Fran. Hacker, but don't put that down, obviously. Francois Snow. Vibes. Wonder how old this kid is. They don't list the ages. No such thing. Nothing good ever happened until the afternoon, when people are actually awake. What I got instead was a compulsive liar with a horrific sleep schedule and a crippling addiction to poor time management. What do you want, Red? I can't call you up for fun? Not if you don't want to get blocked. I need you to find somebody for me. Can't do it. I've got homework. We both know the only time you ever do your homework is during the class it's due. And I've got sports. You can't tell a basketball from a hockey stick. And I've got a bidding war to win. You're the only person on Earth bidding on 70-year-old... Oh, it's a Q. Gucci and Air Jordan vintage reps. I think you could take your eyes off the auction block. So yeah, sorry, but I'm busy, so... I was hoping we could skip straight to the carrot portion of the routine, but if you insist on doing things from the top... Huh? I had an interesting conversation with your parole officer yesterday. Oh, yeah? They've been really into the self-prefixes lately. What? Self-motivation, self-actualization, self-help. Oh. And he thinks you could really benefit from it. You're lying. He's got all the workbooks ready. What a good face. Clearly, your Saturdays are stacked, so I'll make sure your Sundays are full of... Fine, I get it. I need you to find a local musician. Musician? Knowing you, this will be electro swing or some other awful... Last name, Powell or Parker? That's all you got? They'll be in David Asher's circles. Asher? You're working that? That should be more than enough for a clever kid like yourself to go on. Don't go expecting any miracles. I need this soon, within the hour ideally. Within the... You know, I have other clients, don't you? Other clients who actually pay you? On time? A musician. Find him. Okay. Even talking on the phone, you're very animated, Adonai. What do you mean? Just you're very expressive when you talk to people. Of course I'm expressive. If I wasn't, how would anyone know what I'm thinking? I see. I'll keep that in mind as we... Wait, you're really expecting to tag along? Of course. Father was... Yeah, I know what you want to. But why should I let you? Because I'm capable and helpful? Uh-huh. I mean it. I could take notes from you. And move heavy objects. And I'll learn to do more. How? I will subject every individual we encounter to a basic survey to procure biographical information on them while I gain experience in questioning. Subjecting them to torture. I can help, Adonai. How fast can you fill out forms? Fast. Congratulations, you're halfway to being a paralegal. Eh? You coming? She got an update. She's now my assistant. Blood type UAD. Unemployed paralegal? Question mark. Likes martial arts, carbonation, collarbones. Dislikes static, blackouts, elevators. I'm good at lots of things. Not sure how skills differ from talents. 180 rule. She has a date of birth. Whoa. Oh, do you see that? Look at her glowy bits. Very, very glowy. Her eyes and her barcode. You coming? Right away, Adonai. Alright. This might actually be a good place to start before we begin the investigation proper. Since I just kind of wanted to jump in. I need to make sure my webcam, VTube Studio's working properly too. Been very, very annoying lately. I'll mess around with that tonight. And I think maybe I'll stream this tomorrow too. Unsure, but probably. Okay, how do I... Wait. Title screen, yes. I love title screen. Alright, I think I'll stream tomorrow. I think I started a little bit later than I meant to today. Probably start a little bit earlier tomorrow. Unless something comes up. Ooh. I don't know. We'll see. I might take it easy and do something different, like art stream. But I think I'd like to do this again. I don't think it's very long, so I think we can knock it out. 2 streams, maybe 3 if they're not long streams. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go. It's getting very late, but I can still squeeze in. I got a couple of things I want to do before I go to sleep. So, good night. Good nighty. Bye-bye. I think one of my favorite things about this game is actually, like, I think I do kind of dig the music a lot. I'm very excited for when we actually get to go toe-to-toe with Emma and Court. Because we haven't really gotten that yet. We only kind of got a snippet of their interactions. And she seems like she's going to be a real monster in Court. And I'm just kind of wonder, like, how the other episodes are going to pan out, like, with, like, if this is going to be super episodic, like Phoenix Wright was, for example, or if there's going to be, like, a lot more narrative in every single case that pans into the whole story. Like, we haven't really gotten too much more information right now, like, about our serial killer protagonist here. What her whole deal is. Alright. I will see you tomorrow then. Good night.